Live from DRS, it's The Tonight Show with Rabbi Storch and Rabbi Farber. Featuring Richie Hagler, DRS Jeopardy, musical guest, the DRS Band, and a lineup of DRS personalities. And now, here's Rabbi Storch and Rabbi Farber.
We are apparently live. Welcome everybody we are here at the Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign, raising $4 million in 36 hours, continuing to provide a home for rigorous Torah study, academic excellence, extracurricular opportunity, fostering Midos Tovos, and support of Medina Israel here at wonderful DRS, Davis Run of Stali Yeshiva High School for Boys. I am Rabbi Natan Farber. I am here with my great colleague, my Rebbe, my friend, my funny uncle, Rabbi Eli Storch.
Wow.
Rebbe.
What quite the introduction, Rabbi Farber.
Thank you.
What a day it's been.
Unbelievable. Really incredible. I wish you were here. You can come down right now, but I wish you were here several hours ago. You would have seen incredible excitement. So many students excited to raise money for the beloved yeshiva, for the Davis Run of Stali Yeshiva High School for Boys, of which I am a proud alum, class of 2004.
Oh,
Rabbi Storch, tell us.
Year that was.
Fantastic.
2004.
Rabbi Storch, tell us a little bit about what we are here doing today. What exactly is this campaign all about?
We're 100%. Before we start, let's just give a big shout out to, this event would not have happened without Chaim Schwartz, the producer, and we got Dovi Flug with the headphones on over there doing his thing. You got Yisrael Leibowitz, who was just integral in every single aspect of this particular event. But let's talk about history of DRS and why we're here tonight. We started as a young fledgling institution back in the day. I think it was 26 of the class, 1997 it was, freshman year. Then this property was purchased, and in 2002 we moved in, and at the time we had about 150 young men.
Incredible.
2002. We built it. If you notice in the elevator, there's a button. Number 3.
There was a third floor button in the elevator.
But what happened was there was an earthquake, 2008, 2009.
I remember that earthquake.
Oh my gosh, I was sitting
a slight tremor in the Five Towns.
I was talking to Daniel Lowenstein, and I didn't know it was an earthquake. I checked Twitter, hashtag earthquake, and then we knew. Get out of the building. Anyway, so what happened is they changed the codes. So now all of a sudden you cannot build a third floor unless the foundation was set initially to survive that earthquake.
So originally there was intention to build a third floor, but over time something occurred. The codes changed. And we needed to do some kind of Rabbi Storch, you are the associate principal of Judaic Studies. One of the things that you're responsible for doing, and you're incredibly talented in doing it, is setting up the schedule for where classes are in school. Now, Rabbi Storch, how many students do we have in DRS?
I believe it's 382.
382 students, and just 22 years ago we had how many?
Well, the first graduating class was 14.
Was 14. Incredible. 382. So you are in charge of making sure that everybody has a place to learn.
And here's the challenge.
But unfortunately...
Here's the challenge.
Yes.
If you notice, period 6.
Okay.
Two classes in the basement.
Two classes in the basement, which is not ideal.
No, period 7.
How could you have Rabbi Willig focusing in the corner, learning with his piles of Svarim, while there are two high school classes going on in the basement?
Freshman halacha, if you keep me score.
Freshman halacha with Rabbi Willig.
Yes, soon we actually going to put a bio class in the base medrash.
You put a bio class in the base medrash. People are dissecting pigs in the base medrash.
No, you can't do it. We were going to tell Titus Harasha, and it was going to lead to all kinds of bad things. So we moved the bio class back to the lab. But we needed to extend.
Sure.
So we had a plan.
Okay.
Everyone needs a plan.
Everyone needs a plan.
So we're going to go 6 classes out.
Well, you're going. The building is going to extend. If we're just to show everybody on the screen here, this section right over here is going to be the new extension. This is where the current building is. So we're extending out towards Ibsen Street.
That's right.
And what are we adding here?
We're adding 6 classrooms.
Okay.
And we're also going to be adding a steam room.
What are we?
Don't get excited, Rabbi Farber. It's
okay.
not the Schwitz. The steam room now stands for science, technology,
This would
architecture.
be a great place for a 5-second delay here.
We're not going to have 6 classrooms.
6 classrooms.
We're building 2 outdoor basketball courts.
Really?
Yes.
And that's what we're seeing right here, the outdoor basketball courts, yeah. and some kind of expanded parking lots.
Yeah.
We need more space. We need more spaces.
The old wiffle ball court's going to be turned into a parking lot. And
that's right.
We're also going to build 2 new offices.
So what are we looking at here? This is the first floor, the new extension. We have, it looks like 3 classrooms and an office
2
suite.
offices. Yeah, it's going to be like a suite. I'm going to be moving. It is suite because I'm moving there.
You're moving on out.
Moving on out.
Moving on. Wow.
Do you know that my office currently was part of the main office?
Originally, your office was
It
the
was
cop.
Shimon Gans' office. Do you remember when Shimon Gans ran a football tournament?
I do remember the
Shimon
football
and Pfeffer
tournaments.
established that.
David Pfeffer was part of the.
2004.
Sure, I remember
Wow.
that very well.
So that was their office. I moved in.
You moved into that
They
office.
just put up a couple of walls.
And now this is going
I've
to
been
be
there
the
for
Rabbi.
11
So if
years.
anyone out there loves Rabbi Storch enough to want to donate the Rabbi Storch office suite, how much is that? Do we have those?
I believe it's
we have that information.
I believe it's 60,000.
It's 60. It's whatever Rabbi Storch says. If you want
more, we'll make it 70,000.
If Rabbi Storch has touched your lives, $60,000 is all you need for your plaque up to donate Rabbi Storch's new office suite. And what do we have here? We're also
on the second floor. If you go to the second, you see that beautiful situation. There's 3 classrooms similar to the first floor, but also there's a conference room.
There's a conference room
for currently when we had meetings,
right?
You would just like squeeze into an office like the clowns in the elephant car,
right?
And we just pile in.
Beautiful.
Now we have an opportunity to have real discussions.
And now when you have a Rebbe's meeting, and it's crazy for me to,
Rabbi Farber went from the classroom to the Rebbe's
room. I graduated just yesterday. Feels like I never left.
You did.
And now I'm in the Rebbe's meetings, but we have the Rebbe's meetings in the old computer room, and what a great thing would be to have a conference room to be able to have. And it looks like we're also adding a STEM lab.
Yeah, that's the STEAM lab.
That's the STEAM lab, and that's not a typo.
No, it's not a typo. They add now an A for architecture.
A for
STEM.
So let's just go through. S is what?
Science, I think.
Science,
we
technology.
Should call somebody who knows this.
Science, technology.
Dr. Wolbaum here today.
Engineering, art, and mathematics.
I think so. And Sige has been doing a lot of work. The Englanders have been very generous and are sponsoring that, and Sige is involved in that as well. So we have a lot of people who've really stepped up to the plate for this project.
Unbelievable.
And you know what tonight we're trying to raise?
We are trying to raise $4 million.
$4 million.
But just to explain to everybody out there, we have matching money. Some of our very generous families and very generous friends, benefactors, very, very good friends of DRS over the years have matched the money. So every dollar that you donate and contribute today will be matched 4 times. That is, $1 turns into 4.
That's amazing.
And right now we are up to...
Well, there you go. We just had from Stephen Greenstein.
Stephen Greenstein, thank you so much, Stephen, for the $400 that you donated.
Class
100 that turns into 400.
Class of 2005.
Class of 2005, sure.
He was
Stephen
a point guard on the team. And Stevie has been a friend of Yeshiva, so much so that Stevie still, Dr. Greenstein.
Sure.
Still comes to Yeshiva from time to time, just pops his head in just to say hello.
Incredible.
Saw him this morning.
Unbelievable. He was here?
I was at a Ois
Bris Kodesh. You were at an Ois Bris Kodesh.
Yeah, so of course Rabbi Perlson was there. So we had a beautiful bris. And
whose bris was that?
Yoni Bernstein.
Yoni Bernstein from the class of 2006 made a bris this morning. Beautiful. What was the baby's name?
Dove Bear, I think.
Unbelievable. To see all of our alumni and where they are today, so many years of alumni, so many special students that we've had connections with over the years. Again, we are here at the Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign, raising $4 million in 36 hours.
Before we have a first interview, I'm just going to walk into the war room.
Sure.
I'm going to take a stroll, so to speak.
Is that okay? Chaim, we're going to go into the war room now. Rabbi Storch wants to walk into the war room.
We're going to just see how everybody's doing. I'm going to just show Rabbi Kamenetsky at the computer over here. This is what Rabbi Kamenetsky's been doing all day.
Should I move over? Is that?
And Rebbe, we're just starting our broadcast. How do you feel about today's event so far?
It was such a tremendous opportunity for the entire yeshiva family to get together. The kids were so excited today. It actually breeds a sense of excitement for the yeshiva when kids feel like they can give back a little bit. Our yeshiva loves every single one of our students. We care a tremendous amount about each one of them, and we hope that the love that we have for all of our students is a mutual, that when you love somebody and you really care about somebody, so they care about you as well. And we're hoping that to build the DRS of the future based on that combined efforts and love and care and support that all of our parents, students, alumni, everyone can help us out with. It's been a great day so far. I'm running on caffeine, and we're going to continue to run on that caffeine until we hit 4 million, Bez Hashem.
Okay, and here is Moshe Yosef Schultz from the class of 2005. He's busy on the phone. He's not texting his friend getting ready for his ice hockey game. Mike, what are you talking about today? How are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling very tired. Had an early morning start, but I stayed organized. I stayed strong, making calls, not giving up. But give it to the man.
I'll give it to him. I was going to go. We got graduates here from many years past. I got Joey Kramer and Yehuda Williams. Joey here from the class of 2007. Joey, you want to say hello to the listeners?
Hi, everyone. Let's keep donating. Let's get this done tonight.
Joey Kramer's father is one of our grandfathers/fathers, which is quite. We also have next to him Jordan Matthew Yehuda Williams. Jordan Matthew, a graduate of 2008, and also an uncle. So his father is a grandfather. Yehuda, thank you so much for coming down tonight and helping out. What do you have to say for yourself?
It's a great cause, and everyone should donate, and we look forward to hitting our goal soon.
Okay, thank you very much, Yehuda. We're going to go back to the room, and we're going to go back on the broadcast as we get ready for our first interview.
Testing 1, 2. Again, we are here at the Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign, raising $4 million in 36 hours. And I am personally fulfilling my dream of being a talk show host. This is going to be the closest I come to being a talk show. In fact, this whole campaign was just a facade for me to finally be a talk show host.
Yeah, me and Reverend Faber actually spoke about this 2 summers ago. It was a 2-year plan that we had that we were going to say, we're going to come up with this.
That's right.
How long ago do we have this conversation?
I've been dreaming about this since the womb. I was interviewing the Malachim.
You know, I had twins. You know what I called them?
What do you call them?
Wombmates.
Excellent. And here it was womb temperature in there.
That was very nice and warm.
Once again, we are here at the Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign. In just a few moments, we are going to hear from Mr. Richard Hagler, Executive Director of the Hebrew Academy of Long Beach, who was so instrumental in not only building this beautiful building, but so many of Haub's newest structures, the new neighbors down the street, our elementary school. And we're going to take a moment just to talk about some of the recent donations that have come in. We want to thank the Spurbers, Susan and Mark Sperber, the nurse at DRS.
Start from Isaac Rosen.
We want to thank Isaac Rosen.
Zlaus, if you go to his, I think he's Zlaus Boxing on Twitter.
Thank you so much, Isaac, for your donation. We want to thank Sarah and Ari Kadish. We want to thank the Waterman family. We want to thank Anonymous.
Oh, Anonymous is probably the biggest donor of the day.
Anonymous was the biggest donor of the day.
You know what's amazing about Anonymous?
What's that?
He keeps donating.
He does keep donating.
You think he would donate
it's incredible.
Once,
He's a very wealthy person.
Over and over again.
And this is what it is to have Rabbi Storch as a sidekick. You have to sit through these corny jokes.
And we got to thank Mayor and Laura Cohn.
There he is again, Anonymous, $400. $400.
Okay.
Again, we are here at the Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign. Rabbi Storch, you should see. I wish our viewers were able to see today what went on here. You just take a look at the screen here. We had students all day calling, missing a little class here and there, maybe, but they were excited to call and come in, and there was food, constant food flowing, as there is always in DRS. We had alumni. So many of our alumni came down today. Incredible to see them come back and really give to their
What class is that?
yeshiva. This is Leo, and this is the 2015 class.
You know what's amazing about Ellie Goldberg? You know what Ellie Goldberg could do?
Ellie Goldberg all the way on your right.
You know what Ellie Goldberg could do? Do you know in Woodmere, the streets are writers going from A to Van Dam in North Woodmere? You ever know that? Ibsen. We're on Ibsen Street.
Right.
Henrik Ibsen is who it's named for.
You're talking about the alphabetical streets?
Right.
I think it stops at J.
It goes to Van Dam. Ellie Goldberg knows it by heart. One time in class, I was explaining
I knew that by heart.
No, you know A to V, all the streets going all the way to North Woodmere?
Let's go. This is time to do it.
By the way,
Arbuckle, Barnard, Church,
No,
Derby.
that's the other way. That's the hard.
You want me to do it backwards?
No.
What?
If you know Ibsen, Jefferson, these streets, the other way.
These streets what?
There's 2 kinds of streets.
Ibsen is a person?
Henrik Ibsen's a writer waiting for Godot.
Okay.
Rabbi
There's
Farber.
also Red Auerbach Street.
Red Auerbach Street.
He was a
yeah,
FIFA
but we have the writers going. If you all the streets going, there's horizontal
Our
streets and vertical streets.
our writers and
so, for example, DRS is on Ibsen Street, which is not the I, because the I the other way is Island.
And who was Mr. Peninsula then?
I don't know.
Okay.
Got to ask that. Maybe that's a busy street. But anyway, that's how. So Ellie Goldberg knows it all by heart.
Interesting. He knows it all by
One time in
heart.
class, Ellie Goldberg texted it to me in under 2 minutes, every single street.
Interesting.
All right, I think we're ready for...
Here was a picture. Speaking, this is a good segue. Here was a picture today. We had a $10,000 donation come in. We want to thank the Auerbachs, Leora and Isaac Auerbach of the class of 2006. Isaac, thank you so much for your donation.
From Los Angeles, California.
All the way from Los Angeles, California. Thank you so much.
That's incredible. They gave
your
it $2,000.
donation.
You know, Rabbi Janikowski. Now it's interesting.
Ooh.
You know why that's interesting?
Because Rabbi Jenna was a member of the class of 2006.
And now he's a rabbi, and he's calling for a
He's
hot.
actually, he was right here.
He was.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
We have several DRS faculty members who were former students of DRS, and we're going to name them later. But again, here was a moment here where a $10,000 donation came in. Josh Packer, senior, claimed the prize.
I was mine.
And that's how he won these beautiful. I don't even know what you call these. What are they called? Dry fit Zachin, the quarter zips. And if you make a certain donation, you get this. You get a hat. Anyway, Josh rang the bell for the $10,000 donation. And he put it on the Packer page. And Richie Hagler was here holding up very proudly the jackets with the Packer team.
Because they claim they got it, but really, they just said we'll give. And when I made the call, that's when the number 10 came up.
So you made the call to. We're not going to say who it was.
So
but you
Charlie Harari taught me a klal.
Okay.
ABC. You know what that is?
Always be
closing. Who gets the credit? Now, Rabbi Farber, I'm going to teach you something.
Please, as you've told me so many things.
Have I ever told you about Mariano Rivera? You know who that is?
You know what? I don't know who Mariano Rivera is.
The closer of the New York Yankees. He's a famous closer. He has more saves than anybody else. It's called the closer. So it all goes after the group. We say by Nila. It all goes after the Chasima. So it's by the closer.
Now you're talking my language.
Okay, so whatever. Anyway, but we give them credit. The kids were great today. They came down and they made so many calls, and they really did it for the yeshiva.
They were incredible. Heshi shirts.
1 minute. Okay.
Heshi shirt. 1 minute for what?
Till Uncle Richie comes. We're going
to get Richie. Hey, how you doing, Hesh?
Heshi, you look great in the hat today.
Look at that.
I weighed the original.
You are the original. Heshi, you are the original.
Heshi, we all look like Heshi today.
Heshi, it's in this spot right here where you were carrying the coffee mug in 2005, and you asked the famous question. You know what question that was, Heshi?
That is?
What now? Do you know what that was? This is the DRS memory. Do you know what we're referring to?
After Paper Clips. You said
we showed the movie Paper Clips, which is the movie about I believe it's an elementary school who had an effort to collect
6 million
paper clips.
In honor of the
and they showed this powerful documentary. And after the movie, you stood up with a coffee cup and said, "What now?"
So the next day in Shir, Sam Lauer says to me, "Rabbi Storch, I have a question for you." I said, "What's that, Sam?" And he says, "What now?" And that was a great question.
You don't remember this?
Because that was a very pointed question.
And
you know who I spoke to today?
Who'd you speak to?
Dina Rapper.
Oh, wow. She's doing all those movies in Eretz Yisrael. Jerusalem 1.
Once again, we're here at the Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign, raising $4 million in 36 hours for the Davis Renov Salar Yeshiva High School for Boys. We are so honored and so privileged to have as our first guest tonight Mr. Richard Hagler, the Executive Director of the Hebrew Academy of Long Beach. Richie,
how come they're not coming from before you said? How come it's not coming like behind a curtain or something? Like
we have a budget, unfortunately. Next year,
the budget.
Next year we'll have a much bigger budget, and we'll be able to get a much bigger set. Richie, thank you for being our first guest tonight, our featured guest. It's such a pleasure to have you on the couch.
It is an honor and a privilege to be here for you with Rabbi Farber and Rabbi Storch in the building that was built for this wonderful institution.
So, Richie, we just got to talk about what you've been doing since your involvement in HALB. You were a board member until 1998.
I was.
1998. You became the executive director.
That's right. I was a parent starting in about 1986.
Tzvi was your son.
Tzvi started here at 4-year nursery.
Right.
That's when we moved here. And
Tzvi obviously didn't go to DRS. He graduated.
We're not going to talk about
Tzvi
that.
didn't graduate DRS.
No, I'm just asking. Was he?
He was 1 year before.
He was 1 year before, so he couldn't be a DRS.
Richie, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
But you have two brothers and 3 sisters-in-law and 3 brothers-in-law.
All right, that's right.
Every single one of their children except for Tzvi attended DRS?
That is correct. Or SKA.
All the males.
Right. The entire family came to DRS with the exception.
The Simpsons, the Quistels.
The Simpsons, the Quistels, the Schreiers, their children all attended DRS
Amazing.
and SKA, for that matter.
And speaking of the Hagler family team has raised, I don't even know what.
We're a little bit north of $300,000 tonight.
Unbelievable! You must be in second place behind Rabbi Kamenetsky.
Well, everybody's in second place to Rabbi Kamenetsky.
Well, this is true.
That's the way it always goes here.
This is very true.
Richie, and that's the way it's supposed to be behind the Moshe Shiva. That's how you line up.
Richie, your legacy as executive director, you built DRS. You built the new HALB Elementary School. Incredible work, an incredible career as executive director. Richie, what does this moment mean for you now extending DRS And really what we want to know is take us back to the early years. How did this whole thing start?
Richie, I believe we're at a bar mitzvah.
So
Tell us the bar mitzvah story, Richie.
The bar mitzvah story. So the bar mitzvah of David Samuels. Stewie Samuels was the president of Halb, and there was always a need.
It says here, David Samuels bar mitzvah, by the way.
Stewie was the president of Halb. Then the bar mitzvah was at the Jackson Hotel. Mrs. Fisher was
Oliver Shalom.
Oliver Shalom.
It's still around.
It's still around.
It's still around.
Under a different name.
Right. It's still the Jackson, but quite different.
Right.
But Mrs. Fisher maybe still be running around. I don't know.
Sure.
But in any event, so we were sitting around the table, and there was a high school, and Rambam had started a couple of years before, and we had always talked about, always meaning the people that were Halb from 1990 on, were really talking about forming a high school, because at the end of the day, our kids left Halb and they went to schools, or they went to MTA, they went to BTA. If those are the
and SKA had already been around. For
SKA had been around since the mid '90s. We started SKA first because those girls were going to Central, those girls were going to Prospect Park, and
there was nothing here for them.
There was nothing here for them. There were schools. Let's be honest. There were schools like Tag was around those days. Hafter was around those days.
Not the
and there was no continuing hashkafa of what Halb was under the leadership of Rabbi Friedman Zatzal.
Sure.
And so SKA started, and it started. Those of us that were very involved in the purchase of SKA, which we'll talk about SKA at another time. And we always said,
that's their charity. They're doing it.
That's right. We'll do that. We'll do that too. But now we're talking about DRS. So we started DRS. The first meetings actually took place at the bar mitzvah of David Samuels. And David today is going to be 37. So do the math. 25 years ago. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's
25 years ago, and we were talking around the table. Those of us were talking.
When you say around the table, during laning, you all walked
out
to the Kiddush Club?
No, the Kiddush Club finished already.
Okay.
It was actually, if those of you remember, in the in the Jackson Hotel, Mrs. Fisher said you're finished eating, whether you were finished eating or
Sure.
not. So we had to go into the lobby, and we were sitting around, and the people.
Who's there? You,
who's at the table?
You, Stewie, Jerry, Jack Katz.
Jerry Williams is there.
Right.
Jerry's here. Jerry, I hope you're watching from Eretz Yisrael. We miss you very, very much here.
Well, he emailed me about 45 minutes ago.
Oh, if Jerry was here.
Because the Yankee game just ended at 4 o'clock in the morning, so whatever it is. But Jerry, of course, was there. Moshe Schlosselberg was there.
Sure.
Dr. Schlosselberg.
He had the mustache at the time.
He had a lot of things at that time. And
we're not on tape delay.
Your nephew, Jason Hagler, is coming on later, by the way.
My nephew, Jason Hagler, was not there.
No, but he's going to be on later today. That's the 5-second delay.
That's going to be more than that.
Go ahead.
At any event, so we were talking around the table, and Hillel Davis was there.
Sure.
And
President.
El President. Right, he was not the president at that time. The
Chairman.
president. He was
co-president with the Stewie.
Right.
Later.
Well, right now at this point in time, Jerry was the president.
Oh.
And we talked about it, and there were people there from Rambam saying, "Why don't you come there?" And we had nothing bad to say. It was nothing bad to say at Rambam. We sent children there, but we just felt that we needed something that belonged to us and that we ran.
Sure.
And from that discussion became further meetings until we found a piece of property, which took a very long time. Our ground rules were that we wanted something in the 5 towns. Now, if you think we thought then the 5 towns was overbuilt, and of course we've learned that it's been overbuilt a lot since then. And we looked around for a piece of property and looked around somewhere to build a school, and there really was nothing. And
Is it true?
Yeah.
2 rumors.
Yes.
Number one, that one thought was to have it in back Lawrence, and the second, this is a rumor that the academy might have been a location for DRS.
That was just talk. That really never happened.
That never happened.
But yes, it is true. In fact, the first property that we purchased for DRS was in back Lawrence, right alongside the golf course.
Yeah.
If you know the golf course where the 12th and 13 holes are, there was a house there, and that
would have been great for the 10-minute break during Shir. To play play a par 3.
Yeah. How different would it have been if that actually happened? Because that building was not big enough for more than maybe at best 250.
So Richie, where does one? Let's talk about 2 things. Let's talk about there's pretty much who's going to run the yeshiva. So how did you get to Rabbi Kamenetsky?
Oh, now you're jumping all the way
We're
to
jumping
there.
all the
Oh,
way.
we're jumping-
Let's stick with the. Let's do the building first because I
let's
want to
do the
talk about the
building.
horse under the Lee estate.
That we will talk about that. Very good memory, Natan. We've heard that story
It's
before.
not a memory. I wasn't there at the time. It's not a memory. I heard about
you
it.
were a memory at that point in time, right?
I was a memory at that
or
time.
A thought.
but
In any event,
yes.
yes.
No,
So when finally we sold, we were able to acquire the Lee estate, which we're sitting on right now today. The Lee estate was owned by the Leibowitz family. It was anything but an estate. The property was this property that we're sitting on now. The building was very old and dilapidated. And a caretaker was living here. The Lee family, the Leibowitz family, lived in Las Vegas, Nevada.
We have a picture of Rabbi Kamenetsky.
And
no, we don't have it.
we have that. I have that picture somewhere. I have that in my files.
Right.
In any event, so what happened was we were able to purchase the Lee estate. All right, and then we sold the piece of property in back Lawrence, and we moved on. And then the closing, the story that you're referring to is this closing took place on a Friday, and Stewie Samuels went to the closing, and he calls me. He goes, "Listen, you have to go over to the Lee estate, and we have to put some locks on the door because we own the property now, even though it's a piece of junk, which is what it really was." And so, of course, what did I do? I bought the locks, and I sent Chaim over to the estate. And I said, put some locks on the door. And he gets there. And Chaim, as you know, is not the tallest. And he gets there and he calls me. He goes, did you forget to tell me something? I said, what do you mean? Go, there's these four Teamsters, 6'6", 300-pound guys,
Wow.
fullbacks, linebackers. And they have shovels in their hands and they're digging up the property. And I'm going to stop them. I said, Chaim, you and one army are going to stop them.
Sure.
So
What were they looking for, Richard?
So I called Stewie and I said, Stu, what's going on? He goes, oh yeah, well the Lee family sometime in the 40s or 50s had a horse on the property, and the horse is buried there. And we told them they could have permission to dig up for the KSMA and find the horse and take the remains.
Did they find the horse?
They never found the
horse.
They never found the horse.
Do you
So there's a horse under us right now.
Do you know whose office it remains under right now?
Actually,
I'm wondering about the stench,
it's
Richie.
somewhere south of Sorch's office because the wind blows down. But no, we never did find the. They never did find the
And
horse.
this is a year after being in 140 Central Avenue for a few years at the
How long
Temple
did it
Israel.
take?
So
How
Temple-
long did it take for us to, from the moment of purchase till we got to that magical Motzei Shabbos in December of 2001? We'll talk about that in a second.
So I would say it was 4.5 years.
4.5 years.
4.5, a little bit more than 4.5 years.
So what are your memories? We're going to pull up a
I
picture.
want
Richie.
you to look at this picture, and
Sure.
I want you to tell me what you think about this night. When you see this picture, what
Sure.
does this remind you of? What was going on here?
This was the opening event of this game. Remember it well.
This was the
Rambam.
first event.
Somebody actually is wearing my glasses and has a beard that's partially gray because I actually said I would shave it off when we turn gray, and that's Jerry Williams' younger son.
My goodness.
And
That's actually Chaim Hollander
little
in
Chaim
high
Hollander.
school.
right. That's Chaim Hollander in third
Ben
grade.
Kramer.
Ben Kramer is
Who
there.
else do we
Larry
see?
Kramer
Craig-
is right.
Morty
Craig-
Craig- Craig Berry.
Yes,
Aryeh
Craig Berry left.
Shapiro.
Aryeh Shapiro is here.
Unbelievable.
Mayor Jakubowicz, for those who keep, and Morty
Mayor.
Jacobs, who was a very big donor
Right,
today.
right.
Ari Abramowitz is in the back of that picture.
Right. And, Ben was the goalie, taking up the most room.
If I'm not
but that was
mistaken, this was not the first event to take place in this building. I think that the Perm Spiel
No.
took place in the library, or this was before?
No, this was before.
Oh,
This
this
is
was
December.
before.
This was in December. In fact, I have the plaque and the picture in my office as we brought it over
Richard,
here.
remember who we played Rambam that night, junior varsity, and there were 4 players out there. I believe Eliezer Williams is one of them, Aaron Letterman, and a couple other guys. But that was a double-letter hockey game, and between the games, we put up all the mezuzahs and took down the banners.
Wow.
Yeah, that was quite an.
So what were you feeling that night? Was it a feeling of?
It was a feeling of great pride, and really it was just an incredible night because. And thank you for giving me the credit for building this building, but the team that built all the buildings for Hal, but really we were just part of that team together with Jerry and Chaim, who we're now together building our third full building
Amazing.
together for Hal.
Amazing.
And this building, actually, right, we built the DRS, we built the elementary school, we actually built the extension in Long Beach, which lasted for about 10 years. The last extension that we built.
Someone recently tweeted a picture of the Long Beach building, and the letters just were taken off.
So we were the most recent people to be there from Halb. We were there sometime. I lost track of time, but it was definitely about a year ago.
About that time of age.
We were right, and we were in the building about a year ago, and it's dilapidated. The current owners let it get their way. I don't blame them. The city of Long Beach is not dealing with them squarely. But that's a different story.
So,
for a
Richie,
different day.
we're now in the building, 2002.
So now in the building.
You remember that first? That's only December. We only moved into the gym building.
I will never.
We only moved into the gym
That's
building
right.
because that's the only building that was complete because we could not get in until the fire systems were complete.
But it was Rosh Chodesh Nisan of that year. I will
So-
never forget. I remember. I have vivid memories of the base medrash being beautifully lit by the sun, dancing the Torahs into the base medrash
you're
on the
missing
first
memories.
day.
So I'll tell
no,
you-
I'm not mixing
That's Rosh
memories.
Chodesh El.
Rosh Chodesh.
No,
Rosh Chodesh
Natan
Nisan.
Natan is right.
I am right.
So we opened the building. It was Rosh Chodesh Nisan.
Correct.
And I
hollow.
and Chaim and Jerry all davened there. I think the davening may still be going on. I understand that boys in high school like to daven, but okay. But in any event,
Richie Hagler's line was when he came to Davos, he goes, "Nobody this minute is trying to catch a subway."
Nobody can. Yeah, right.
That's a Richie Hagler line.
So we davened there that morning, and we spent a lot of time. We still had workers going on here, but the building was substantially ready. And I'll tell you a very quick story. Rabbi Storch will remember it. Rabbi Storch had the shear room right outside on the second floor, right
Correct,
outside
with the big
bridge.
window.
And I came upstairs because that's where Ellie Hagler was a student and Ben Kramer was a student. And these guys were part of the class of 2002, and we had always promised them that they would graduate from this building. We didn't realize it would be so literally, but they got here Pesach and they graduated 2 months later. And they take a look and they're putting up on the board numbers 1, 2, 3. They were counting how many kids crossed the bridge to figure out if they charged a toll, how much they could make.
Rich, because
All
if
right?
you remember in the original plans, one of the things you could donate was the bridge, and I was thinking about
You can
donating the
still
bridge
donate
and
the bridge.
putting a toll up.
You can still donate the bridge, by the way. I don't know.
The bridge is still there. No reasonable offer will be
Richie,
refused.
David Leichton has just texted me that you owe him and Schulman $250.
I do.
So
we're going to tell him to donate that to the
he's
building.
watching the broadcast?
Yeah.
So
People
Dave,
are watching the broadcast. People are actually watching us
so
here.
David is telling the truth.
You want the truth?
We played the game. We
You
played the
can't handle
game.
the
We
truth.
played the game in the Meadowlands, and they
Yes.
each hit a half court shot. Oh, that was at practice. After practice, they hit a
Richie,
shot
I
of the money.
coached
They're
the game
true.
in the half court. So whatever that. Remember that.
This can go on forever.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
this
You
will be
don't
the
even know-
36-hour conversation.
You know-
We're here, the 36-hour conversation between Rabbi Storch and Richie
non-sequitur.
Hagler.
You know,
Some
I
of
met
it might
Richie.
even be true.
Richie doesn't remember this. In 1990, Richie was commissioner of the basketball league, and my first foray into broadcasting was MTA called me to ask to broadcast
His
the
first
game.
foray into broadcasting.
You like that? Anyway, so Richie's and
He learned
Richie,
from the Mad Dog how to speak English.
Yeah.
Richie
Yeah.
and his
Yeah,
old
we made it
friend,
big time here.
the
Right,
commission-
yeah.
Richie and his friend, the commissioner, were in the gym, in the garden, and me. It was just the three of us. And I look over to the mic that the announcer for the Knicks, would broadcast into the entire garden. And I walk over to the mic thinking it was off, and I go, "That was Bernard King, and the Knicks are over the limit." Richie looks at me, and he's like, "Get out of here!"
That was
Nice to meet you, Richie.
The announcer was John FX Condon, who was
Yes.
who was the announcer for the Knicks for many years. But that's
Okay, so Richie, let's talk about now. Let's talk about going forward. So 2002.
So let's talk about going forward. So we start the building. The building is starting, and the classes start to grow, and DRS is starting to gain fame, starting to gain stature, starting to gain as a school, and people are coming here, and the school hired in.
I'm going to have to pause for a second. I just heard a bell. What just happened?
We're $8,000 away from being 1/3 of the way there.
We're 1/3 of the way there.
1/3 of the way there.
That's a thrill. In any event,
In any event, sorry to interrupt you.
that
Richie.
was a great. Okay. In any event, what were we talking about? What
We
was
were
George
talking about DRS. We're here at the campus expansion campaign.
Where are we now?
Where are we now?
Where are we now? So we've moved from 2002. We're in the beautiful building.
Right.
Things are going swimmingly. We even survived the Jason Hagler era.
We even survived the ERROR. Right. Correct.
Jason will be here momentarily. On the next
He just texted that he's on his way.
Richie, one last thing. Tell
ahead,
us about
Natan.
hiring Rabbi Kamenetsky. How did that all come about?
Yes, so there was a committee formed by the school to interview people for the position of Menahel/principal of DRS, and we made up our minds, and this was really.
Wait, now you can tell us what you think of Rabbi Storch. Oh, okay. He's back
I haven't
on.
got that kind of time.
Okay.
But we had decided as a group, led by Jerry, because Jerry was really running the show, and we decided we want to get the best young man, the best young person we can get to run the show. Because
What a risk. How old was he at the time?
29 years old.
Rabbi Kamenetsky was not yet 29 years
Not
old.
yet. It was the
And-
summer
No.
before he turned
And-
29.
He said that he was 29 when he got the job, but 30 when he started the job.
okay.
Right. Well, in
He
any
turns
event, so
30
Rabbi
in,
Kamenetsky came
2017.
to the interview, and I will tell you
With the big glasses.
And with the big glasses.
How big?
They were big. How big were they? They were big.
6, yeah.
In any event, Rabbi Kamenetsky wowed everybody, impressed everybody, and most of us at that meeting knew right then and there we met our guy. And
good call.
And it was a good call. It was the right call, and the rest, as they say, is
unbelievable history.
Incredible. And it was very risky. It was
so can
risky.
you imagine today? I can't even think about it. A 29-year-old guy walks in, and we're barely ready to hire him as a Rebbe. You just took a risk and said, "Here are the keys. Go run with it."
You know, we all had we had a good feeling. We were all young. We didn't know what we were doing either.
Isn't it being young a blessing on some level?
Listen, it's all min hashamayim, you know.
True.
That's how it works. And and here we are on a day. Let's talk about today.
Let's talk about today, Richie.
Let's talk about today and tomorrow, because this is all about building tomorrow.
So here we are, and DRS is growing in classes, and they're going to 60s and 70s and 80s. And let's be honest, we thought this building at most could handle 320 kids, and today we're somewhere north of 365 children. And growing, and the community wants more, and the community needs more, and more kids want to come here. And they want to come here because of what we have to offer, because of our faculty, because of our staff, because of our facility, because of just of what
and
DRS
because of the executive director,
and because what DRS has represented for everybody for the last number of years.
Incredible.
And we got together and said, okay,
Oh boy.
There we go.
Okay.
What do we do?
So what just happened?
I think we're at the 1/3 mark. We're at the 1/3 mark.
That was the 1/3 mark.
Well, I think somebody should get this ice melt here so we can melt the snow. In any event, we are.
Who writes your material, Richie?
I don't know. So we're here.
You're going home to Sherry. And
we
got my cue cards here.
3 years ago, at a very small meeting of a few of us.
Meeting of the minds.
A meeting of the minds, those that have them left. And we decided that we were going to really go ahead with the expansion. And we understood very clearly that we were really in the early stages, but moving along at the elementary school and building the number 6 school. And we understood the timing, but we understood also, we were smart enough or lucky enough to understand how long it takes to put together a building.
It does.
And how long it takes to run the process, and how long it takes to get the finances for it.
Where are we holding in the, let's talk about that. Do we have the approval? The zoning has been approved?
We're holding by the 2 dots, Rabbi Storch. So I will tell you that.
Next I'm going to ask you to please say all of the Birchas Yaakov Baal Peh.
I still can.
I can say that too.
Go on your mark. Here we go. On your mark.
I know the song.
I can even lane it though.
Let's go.
Okay, but in any event,
we don't have time for this.
We are at the point where
tomorrow night.
The goal would be, the hope is that by
September,
Tisha B'Av, we can actually break ground.
By Tisha B'Av,
we're hoping again.
So we're on the day of the destruction of the bias. We're building a bias.
After Tisha B'Av. Remember, it's a Nidcha this year. It's a Sunday.
All right, so we'll build on Monday.
So we'll build on Monday because Monday the rabbi slept late.
I'm going away that day.
In fact, we're going to send you away that way.
Unbelievable.
So,
Michael, thank you for coming down.
And it will take probably less than a year.
Really?
Hopefully. It will not impact the students other than from the curiosity's sake.
Sure.
We're breaking through at the end of the building where we have now. The building will be fully attached, be part of the long hallway, and hopefully it will allow us to
keep educating the builders and leaders of tomorrow.
Well, that's a good line.
That's a great slogan.
Who
thought of that slogan?
You know what? I just thought of that right now.
Really?
Yes.
It's a
builders.
It's a miracle.
Richie, how many people came to you and said, wait, you spelled builders wrong?
Jeremy Joseph told me that.
Yeah.
Jeremy Joseph said you spelled builders wrong. I said, Jeremy, what's going on? Jeremy Joseph, the creative king, he said you spelled builders wrong. He said, Jeremy, just think about it for a second.
Well, we all know that.
Sometimes the elevator.
We all know this all comes from our friend Mendel, who we didn't know was a person until we met him.
What a guy! We should really interview him tomorrow.
Let me just say. Let me just say one last thing. Yeah, one last thing.
That could be
keyword is last.
I want to thank everyone that came down.
Yes.
All right. It's really been a collective, a team effort. Led us everything else is led DRS by Rabbi Kamenetsky, and you guys have done a wonderful job, and your team, the DRS team, has really. I've been very proud because, it was big. I told them, I couldn't raise the money by myself, and really I have not. You guys have done an outstanding job.
Incredible.
And
labor of love, Richie.
Thank you.
It is, but you should really be proud, and we should all be proud of what we built here.
And Richie, thank you so much for all
Richie,
you have done.
Before you leave, Richie, we have some presents for you. And that is that David Schulman says that you should give the $250 instead of their Michael. You give the money to the campaign. So now we'll put you down for another $500.
But the 7-year statute of limitations passed already.
I hear that.
But if David and David will each put in the $250.
You'll match him.
I'll match him.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. You heard it from.
And Dov Brashevkin says he subbed a class and is owed a little money.
He actually.
He says me at the cab over, apparently.
Did Brashevkin go to the school? Did they allow him to stay in here?
Richie, I have one more question for you. I'm sorry I should have asked this. I thought of it.
Go ahead.
Executive Director of Help. I just got an email a month ago. Ellie Hagler becoming the Executive Director of Browser.
This is true.
Maimonides.
How does that make you feel that
Well,
your son is following
let's
in
mention
your
that the
footsteps?
principal of that school is a DRS alum, Yoni Fine.
So
But how does it make you feel that your son is? It's amazing. He's following in your footsteps.
I thought I taught him better than that. But you know what? Ellie, as we all know, another proud DRS graduated class of 2000.
And he's got the personality
he gave
for it, that's for sure.
$360 today?
Ellie did. And,
we proud of him?
He actually starts next Monday. He starts a browser.
We wish him the best of luck.
And
you taught him everything he knows.
More.
He doesn't need me. Ellie knows his stuff.
Great.
He'll be great for them. And listen,
The
guys,
legacy
keep up the good
continues.
work.
Thank you, Richie.
Richie Hagler, the Executive Director of HAL. We want to thank you so much for everything. And Richie, we look forward to you to help us build DRS when it moves to Yerushalayim.
Oh, amen.
Abiyas Gold Tzedek, Mir Hashem. You'll be there.
Amen. Thanks,
You'll
Nathan.
be there.
Okay.
Richie Hagler, we're here again at the Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign, raising $4 million in 36 hours. Rabbi Storch is going to go into the room. Richie, we love you, Bubba. He's going to go into the room again. We are continuing to provide a home for rigorous Torah study, academic excellence, extracurricular opportunity, fostering midos tovos and support of Medinat Israel here at the Davis Naftali Yeshiva High School for Boys. We take you into the war room with Rabbi Storch. Chaim, we're going to go around the room. We're going to go into the war room.
We're going to go back into the war room now, see what's going on. We got a lot of people come. Oh, Sherry Hagler. Ben Kramer is here. Rabbi Jodakowski, what have you been raising money for today?
For a classroom.
For a classroom, but I'm saying which people in particular you've been calling?
DRS class of 2006 and the DRS Wildcats.
Oh, so the hockey team, I think they're up there. The team, what number now? Team number? They're like in the top 5? I saw before, it's really tremendous credit that these guys, that Lowry and Rabbi Jenna have taken the hockey team by storm, and they've been calling all of the members of the hockey team, so that's been really, really special. We're going to go around, we're going to walk around. They got Ezra Cohn here. Where did Ben go? Because we have the musician, Ben Kramer is here, but I want to show something that, Ben, is your son here? Is Gavriel Simcha here? Did I see Gavriel Simcha? So here's Gavriel Simcha. This is Gavriel Simcha Kramer. Now, for those who don't know, what Gavriel Simcha Kramer could be is our first grandson of the yeshiva. Ben Kramer is a graduate of the yeshiva in 2002. Gavriel Simcha, if you come to yeshiva, you think you're going to come to DRS?
Yes.
Yes.
You think you're going to get in?
I hope so.
Okay, so Gavriel Simcha, how do you feel that you could be the first person in DRS history whose father went to DRS?
I don't know. It'd just be cool. Like, so that would be that. So that I could say, oh, my dad and my dad went here, and my uncle and my cousin. Yep.
You could almost say like, oh, this is where my father pushed the guy into the locker or something like that.
I don't know, because my dad's never told anything other than he went to DRS, that he is in DRS, other than he said he was on the basketball team in DRS, and when he was in elementary school, he was, I don't know, he said he was also on the hockey team at one point.
He was the goalie. Right here, we played our first game. Okay, we're going to go back to the set, and we're getting ready for our big game of Jeopardy. Jason, let's go. You're up. Benjamin? Ben? We were just talking to Gavriel Simcha.
See, it's awkward when you don't know where the camera is, and it's like, hi.
The camera's zooming in on us. It's one of those big cranes.
How do you feel about being here tonight?
Wonderful.
Brings back a lot of memories?
You know, a couple of memories. We weren't here for very long. About 4 months.
But those 4 months. Richie was just telling us the first day in class.
First day of the class, counting the bridge.
Ben? What else were we supposed to do?
Thank you for all you did for the yeshiva.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. Okay. Rabbi Farber, we're back in. We're getting.
We are back. We are back here at the Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign, again raising $4 million in 36 hours for the Davis Naftali Yeshiva High School for
But
Boys.
it's not really
36 hours. Why
No,
not?
Because we've already done a number of hours.
Well, okay, 36 hours in total.
27 hours, 46 minutes, and 10
27
seconds
hours to go. We are so excited to be playing DRS Jeopardy. Our contestants tonight are Rabbi Yehuda Bolzam, a longtime Rebbe here in DRS.
Let him introduce himself, yeah.
Just introduce yourself.
There's nothing else left to say.
Okay.
Long-time Rebbe here in DRS.
Long-time Rebbe Bolzam. What was the first year
when
you were?
did you get here?
Right.
When did I get here? I got here in September of 2001 in the old temple. And I made my way over to the new building that same year, Rosh Chodesh Nisan of that same year.
Sure. That's right.
And it was good times ever since.
Rabbi Bolzan was the third assistant to the assistant Rebbe, the third one.
Assistant to the Menahel.
Assistant to the Menahel. That's what we all
Not
served.
the assistant Menahel.
We all served our time.
Assistant to the Menahel.
Moving on down the
We're
couch.
all three in the room, by the way.
Moving on down the
First
couch, we
three.
have Jason
Right,
Hagler
right
from the
there.
class of 2008? 2007. Sorry, Jason. Jason.
Jason gets extra time. That's probably what
Jason Hagler, tell us, what are you thinking on this special night?
I'm overwhelmed with excitement because as I sit here and look beyond, I see how much we've grown in the DRS radio phase. I think I was the founder.
Jason, DRSLive.com is you.
I started it.
Me and you.
And we did this all without you today.
It's pretty. I'm like,
well, if you were here,
literally
we'd be working
dumbfounded.
That's true.
I'm very impressed. I mean, we have come a long way.
Long way.
Since
I think the internet's evolved.
I
also.
think we started. Was it Chaim? We started. We used to have to change the patch panel downstairs to bypass.
The darn
to
patch
dial
panel.
out.
That patch panel always gives us issues.
Just to get
running
out.
on dial-up.
It's running on dial-up.
In the old days, yeah, that was back in the day. There was a cable modem in the school. We had we didn't have a fast connection. It was a simple cable modem.
We don't know what you're talking about. Moving on down the couch is Mr. Robert Deitch, Mr. Bob Deitch, longtime English teacher here in DRS. Mr.
When did you
Deitch,
start, Mr.
when
Deitch?
did you
Wait.
start?
Actually, Rabbi Bolzan and I started at the same time, September 2001.
Wow, what a long time it's
Mr.
been.
Deitch, who was
Yes, indeed.
How did you wind up in DRS, Mr. Deitch?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Actually,
It's not even in the notes.
It was Rabbi Storch.
Really?
Yes, it was. We had met at some affair and had a conversation. You said you needed an English teacher. I was at Ramaz and commuting like a Meshuggah, and so it seemed to make more sense to commute not like a Meshuggah.
For the younger people out there, an affair is a party?
No, an affair is an affair.
Okay, an affair is an affair. Are you guys ready to play DRS Jeopardy?
I'm ready.
Oh, yes.
Sure.
So we have
Okay.
a problem, right, Farber? The board is behind
The board is behind us, but and we'll have to keep
I have an
track.
idea. Why don't we? Can we turn
You want-
them around?
you want me-
You guys should be standing, like, or turn the computer around.
No,
like-
we'll figure. The
No, it's not easy. This is not easy.
This is not easy. We can't
They
do
don't.
this.
I can't see it, but you can
The
just say
viewers
it
need.
over.
The categories are the old building, DRS families, DRS faculty, sports and leisure, and potpourri.
I always just say potpourri. Potpourri makes sense.
Potpourri.
Potables.
Mr. Deitch, we will start with you.
Okay, let's try the old building for 100.
The old building. Were you in the old building?
Yes, I
You-
was.
Okay, the old
You
building
were
for 100.
listening. He said he started in 2001.
Mr. Deitch,
For those who keep a score at home.
this was the address of the old location of
You
DRS.
can buzz in whoever gets it. We got
Jason
Jason
Hagler.
141 Central Avenue.
Incorrect.
Ooh, that is incorrect.
Oh.
Rabbi Bolzan.
140 Central
Correct.
Avenue.
This is true. You didn't answer in the form of a
Wait a
question.
second.
What is 140
What is
Central
is this
Avenue?
the
Jason's
is Jeopardy the
correct.
dumbest game show in the history? Like
No,
the
it's
rules-
brilliant.
It is
because
brilliant.
It adds, no, it's not.
No.
What Jason correct? Because if you went off with the Kyle, if you say 141.
Okay, well, Rabbi Cohen's not here.
It's
right now.
139 is
Wait,
correct
wait, wait.
also.
139 would be correct.
Right, that's true. Rabbi Bolzan, choose a category.
By the way, I didn't know the address. I just figured.
Choose a category.
All right. Well, we're ready. We'll do the old building for 2.
The old building for 200. Let's go in order. Why not? It'll be easier that way. He was the Rabbi Emeritus of Temple Israel. Rabbi Bolzan.
Who is Rabbi Zion?
Rabbi Joel Zion is correct. Rabbi Joel Y. Zion.
By the way,
Yes.
does anybody keep the score?
I think Oliver Shalom.
Rabbi Zion is Oliver Shalom.
Score.
Rabbi
Yeah.
Zion used to walk in.
We're all winners here
I
at
was
DRS,
teaching my
that's for
class,
sure.
and I was in the old bio lab
all
in
90
140
students.
Central Avenue, and I'm teaching, and he goes, "Lo B'Kol Ram."
Bekol Ram. That's right.
Lo
I remember
B'Kol
this.
Ram.
I remember
It's
this.
like, whoa. I have to tone down my teaching.
Rabbi Bolzan, choose another category. I think is this going to be a Rabbi Bolzan show the whole night?
No.
Rabbi Bolzan, go choose
Lucky guesses.
Choose another category.
If we're going to see
All
this
right.
on did Bolzan
DRS
2019 tweet this?
families.
DRS families for
100.
100. Contestants, this family sent the most sons to DRS. Mr. Deitch is...
Jason.
I didn't... Well, Rabbi Bolzan did. Rabbi Bolzan
If
buzzed
somebody
in.
wants to have a crack at it.
Mr. Deitch.
I'll go with Gutenmacher.
Okay, there are actually 2 correct answers to this. There's a tie. Gutenmacher is 1 and...
Who are the shines?
Ooh.
Controversial.
Actually, next year the
they're gonna get
Shines will
five.
enter the Five Timers Club. But right now, it's the Frager family and the Guttenmacher family. The Fragers and the Guttenmacher. Next year,
Name all 5 Fragers.
Oh, it sounds. Don't look at the board.
Oh, I would just look. Sorry.
All right, with looking. Let's see if you could read.
Solomarier.
Good, absolutely. Very good. Yes.
Oh,
very
nice.
good.
The
Very good.
other
Next
qu-
year, we are
by the way-
excited to welcome the 5th Sofer and the 5th Shine, our class of 98 students.
Yeah, that's right. Now, you know what a big question would have been? Who has the most Hebrew names? Only Rabbi Kamenetsky would know.
Actually,
Janos Ben Pesach.
isn't one of the Guttenmachers, I think, has like 4 Hebrew names.
Could be. There
And
is
his
somebody
last
with 4
name's
Hebrew names.
Guttenmacher on top of that.
That's right.
Mr. Deitch, choose a category for us.
Well, let's go with families for 200.
Families for 200. Name 5 sets of twins who have passed through DRS. I think there's 3 right now.
Not boy-girl twins. That doesn't count in the
Okay,
standings.
let's
Mr. Deitch, oh, here we go.
Okay, I'm going to start with Deutsch.
Good.
Very good.
Wait, Mr. Deutsch, what are their names?
Oh, one's Yov, one's Jacob. I can't tell them apart.
Right.
What else you got for us, Mr. Deutsch?
Questel's, those I can't tell apart.
That's it, right.
Watman.
Very good.
Now we got Rosenberg this year.
Rosenberg, that's
Who's
young,
the-
the young ones, the freshmen.
There's a freshman.
Zachary-
The Rosenbergs with the
Zachary
yeah,
and
sure,
Matthew.
right.
Yeah.
And okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy. Clock is ticking.
By the way, triplets don't count.
Oh, you mean the Goldfeathers?
The Goldfeathers don't
No,
count.
no, no.
Don't
We
tell
said
them.
The Goldfeathers
We had
are
a
the most
meeting.
wonderful kids, but they don't count.
Rabbi Farber and I had a meeting to discuss whether triplets would count, so we knocked out the Wernicks and the Goldfeathers.
Yes, we work very hard here in DRS.
Oh, Wernicks, yeah.
We spent a lot of hours on this.
The Wernicks will look.
Yeah, I
you
know,
just
I know,
ruined
I
one.
know the
Deutsch, you got
you
a
have a fifth
away,
one?
which is like the Family Feud.
There's actually
Right, one more.
there's one more
More
in the
than
school
one.
right now,
Wow.
in the senior grade.
Senior grade. All right, I'm blanking.
They're quite different
One's
from one
tall,
another.
one has a beard.
Oh, okay, I do know who that is.
Oh, yeah, who's that?
Fuchs.
Fuchses, very good. Okay, we
go.
also have the Lehmans, the Lehman twins,
Yes, we
the
have the Lehman.
Goldberg twins,
Yes.
Ellie
yeah,
right,
okay.
and the Waymans.
Who could forget?
The
There's
wrong
good
Wayman. Don't go the wrong
wrong
Wayman.
man and the right
There's a
Wayman.
very
yes,
good.
yes. Nice parents.
Mr. Deitch, choose another category. Why
Let's
not?
just keep with the families.
Keep it in the
300.
family.
Wow.
Keep it in the family. DRS families 300. Okay. Here's a good one. These parents also became grandparents of Yeshiva Talmidim, meaning these people had children and grandchildren as Talmidim in DRS.
I was at a bris of one of them today.
One of the grandparents?
You were one of
A little late in the game, no?
You were the bris. You were the bris. You were at the bris of what?
Of one
The
of
ki-
the
the father of the
grandparents who was also a parent.
Really? He's an answer. The one that you said before.
Yeah.
Bernstein?
Bam!
Bernstein, who Yoni Bernstein.
Eitan Greenwald is a freshman.
Eitan Greenwald is a nephew of Yoni Bernstein.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Did you know?
Are there any? Do you
Jason's got it.
Jason,
I got it.
go ahead.
There's a favorite
Who else
one.
do you have?
That's all I got, Bernstein.
Oh.
How many do you have to get?
We got to get.
That's only
You got to get one.
Yeah, just as
So that was you
Who
got
else
it,
is there?
Bernstein.
I
There's
got
also the Dagan family. Okay, we got Amitai and Tani Leitner, who's a freshman.
Serious
Tani
strong.
Leitner must be raising the most money today. He was unbelievable. Tani Leitner from McGinn. He didn't go to a single
fantastic.
class
Oh,
today.
chef.
We have Jerry Williams, of course. Jerry and Esther are right. They have the Udens, the Kramers.
They're here.
The Kramers are here.
And
Ben Kramer.
He can't hear you if you.
Ben,
It just goes to my
come
ears.
on over here for 1 second.
Just
It
louder
just gets
for us.
louder.
1 second. And Ezra, come over here, Ezra. Come over here. One of the answers to this question,
It's right here.
the question was, name parents who are both parents and grandparents of the yeshiva. Ezra, come.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. But your parents,
Lenny
Luis and Lenny. What is it?
Lulu's on Central Avenue.
Lenny and Luis. You're their son, and this is their grandson, Ezra.
And we both had Rabbi Dr.
And you both had Mr. Deitch as teachers.
Wow.
Can I tell a story about the grade, what he offered us?
You can tell. You know what, Ben? Here, take.
Actually,
take-
if my
tell
wife
the-
is
tell the
listening,
story.
don't do it.
Tiger's Huttenstein.
There's another one.
Ben, it was because of your house and the soap operas. That was
The
it.
soap operas.
Yes.
Ben
And then we
used to
got the
live-
Bashevkins and the Grishkos and the Bernsteins, like Jason said, and the Jacobs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, Ben used to live next door to 140 Central Avenue, so
That's
that was
right.
like
This
the
is true.
the extra room over
This is
there.
true.
Yes.
We're gonna keep. Should we keep it in the family, Jason?
All right, let's keep it in the
400.
family.
Okay, here's an interesting question. There have been 99 DRS SKA Shidduchim. 99.
We're about to hit
99.
100.
We're about to hit 100.
Mr. Deitch's grandson is the 101st.
No, but he's not. No, they're not.
She didn't go to. Oh, so there's 100. The day before, there's a wedding
think
number 100. The Whiteses are going to be
The
wedding
Whites
number
is going to be number 100 for marriage. These families have had a daughter and a son involved in not to each other, but they were involved in a DRS SKA shidduch. Both a daughter and a son who married DRS or SKA.
Took us a while to come up with this
alums.
question and how to phrase it. Obviously, we didn't do that. But you get it?
Could we think of any?
I'll give you a hint. There's one I just said.
I don't. These are not DRS questions.
Oh, that's one that you just said.
I just said one.
Can we pass?
Right, the Whites family. The Whites family had Ricky is getting married very soon to Yoni Fenster.
That's correct.
And
Dovin Malin
married Lila Paul.
LaPaul
was
Chris
SK.
Paul.
So we have the by the way, the Lehman family.
Oh, they
has the record for 3 DRS SK shidduchim. My only shidduch I ever made, Adam Cohen and Daniela Lehman, and then you had Benji and Talia.
I
think that's
and Joey
I said Joey and Talia and Mikey and Rachel.
Beautiful.
Mikey and Rachel, and then you have all these other
Samuels Hagler mishpacha.
The Samuels Hagler and the and Elisheva and Benji and Yosef and Daniela. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Let's go to 500 DRS families. 500. This is the most common last name amongst DRS alumni. By the way, the most common last name in my grade, Solomon Zada.
But what is the most common name of any DRS last name? It's a Jewish name.
We're going to throw it out. Forget the buzzers.
Cohen.
Weiss.
Close. No.
It's a very close. But it's not right. It's
Goldberg. Close.
Goldberg is a good guess.
They're up there, but no, not the number one. We had one graduate last year.
It's actually this is.
There was one in all of your grades. Jason, there's one in your grade. There's one in everybody's grade.
Friedman.
Yeah, but that's not the answer.
No?
No, that is not the answer. No.
It's not?
No.
What was the answer?
It's Nisanov. No, it's not. No. The answer is, believe it or not, the answer is Goldstein.
That's
Goldstein, okay?
Right.
Weiss, Cohen, Kleiner, Freeman had 11, and there have been 15 Goldsteins who have been through DRS.
Daniel Goldstein's the most common name we ever had.
Daniel
A, and Daniel M.
There have been 2 Daniel Goldsteins.
Three.
Let's go back to the old building. Let's just go through the questions.
All right, let's do it.
This was the name of the head of maintenance in the old building.
Jay?
Who is Boris?
Boris. And what about for the temple? I see Chaim Hollander's right here. He's shaking his head. Who is the temple head of maintenance? Not DRS's head of maintenance. The temple Israel's head of maintenance. I'll give you a hint.
Mario.
Thank you for I was about to say the Mario theme song. Mario.
Remember the woman used to get on the loudspeaker? Mario, come to the office.
Sure, I remember that.
Mario.
This was the official name of the auditorium downstairs in the DRS building.
I don't know. Oh, the boys know this one, I think.
This was the multi-purpose room. You don't know this one? This was the Titman Auditorium.
Oh.
The Titman Auditorium. This DRS Rebbe never made it to the new building. This is the only DRS Rebbe in history who never taught in the new building.
Who's Rabbi Micha Greenland?
Rabbi Micha Greenland, yes, the new international director of NCSY, who is 1 year a DRS Rebbe in year 2000, 2001.
He's one of 3 Rebbes to leave and not make Aliyah. That's not a question.
That's not a question. Let's move on to DRS faculty.
Could have been, right?
DRS faculty.
Maybe it's there.
These are the names of all former and present DRS General Studies principals. Mr. Deitch.
Okay.
Start from the beginning.
Start from the beginning. David Weinstein.
Very good.
Al
just
Wiener.
retired last
Al Wiener. Olav Shalom.
Olav Shalom.
Moved to Prescott, Arizona.
That's
Yes.
right. And then Nebuch.
Yeah. Bone cancer.
Jeez. Was it?
All right, let's keep it.
Okay. Harvey Feldman.
Harvey Feldman.
Gerald Kirshner.
Gerald Kirschenbaum.
Kirschenbaum, sorry. Mr. Kirshner just walked up there.
Okay,
that was my apologies.
Very fair.
And Dr. Broder.
And Dr. Hillel Broder. Very
we
good.
just have a correction that we missed in the twins, the Burke twins.
The Burke twins. That's true. We must miss if there are any twins out there who we left out. Please text us. It means that you're listening. We're watching.
They just came.
Thank you for all 3 of you. Thank you.
They were just here. No,
they were just here to visit.
That's right.
He's beautiful. He's good. He's in Eretz Yisrael now. If he's watching Eretz Yisrael, it's amazing.
DRS faculty for 200. These are all DRS directors of college guidance.
Yeah.
Mrs. Hefter.
Good. I spoke to her today. It was so nice.
It was so nice to hear from Mrs. Hefter. It was so lovely. Very nice.
Mrs. Rosenberg.
Yes, Madeline Rosenberg. You sure?
Mrs. Chell.
Sure, but there was one more before that.
Do you remember that?
No, that's the one that got me.
That was Esther Berezon.
Oh.
Esther Berezon.
Ami Scheidenfeld was the first person to apply.
Can we go to Potpourri?
Potpourri for 100. Name
Jason,
5 parent council presidents.
That's the women.
Jason,
I'm going to go for this one.
Take a crack at it.
I know he's going.
Bonnie Shirts.
Bonnie Shirts.
Rachel Schlosselberg.
They were co's.
They were co's, right.
Who could forget?
That's it. You're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
No, you forgot the first
Wait a
two.
second. You
What are
forgot,
you related
you
to?
forgot your aunt.
Their job.
Sherry Hagler.
Sherry Hagler. Who is Sherry Hagler's
co?
Okay, who is Sherry Hagler's co? Another legendary DRS mom. Sent 2 sons here. One of them works in DRS right now. One of them's son is big in the camping world.
He's a director.
One of their sons is big in the camping world.
We'll say like
Bernice Joseph.
That's four. That's four.
And again, we want to thank Miriam Fagan, Chani Axelrod, Esther Weinstein, Susie Lewin, and the current presidents Alyssa Papilsky and Rachel Sagnovitz for all that they've done. We can't run our programs without the wonderful women who are the presidents.
Very nice note I'm getting. People are chiming in. You can feel free to text me 516-567-7911. I'm just going to say Adam Frolinger sent a beautiful note. Just want to know. All you have to do is look at the number of our greatest raise to know the impact DRS has had on our lives.
Unbelievable. Thank you so much,
Beautiful.
Adam. Thank you.
I think it's really because Chaim Chovev is an outstanding fundraiser.
Let's go through these questions pretty quickly.
Yeah, go.
Pro Pre for 200. Name 6 DRS Shabbaton locations.
Try that too.
Jason, try it.
Swan Lake.
Swan Lake.
That's it.
Okay.
The old Falls View.
The old Falls View. The new Falls View.
And what about the new Falls?
What about next door to the Falls View?
We were in the Nevele.
The legend about the Nevele. The owner of the Nevele had 11 children, and Nevele backwards is 11.
Yeah,
is that true?
It is 11.
It's true that it's a rumor.
Right. They don't tell these stories about you and me.
Another one, the Berglass twins. People just chiming in.
The Berglass twins, sure.
Oh, yeah, Berglass twins. Very good.
Yes.
Sammy Lewin. Thank you, Sammy.
And then we had the nice hotel in Jersey.
Yes, that one, right. That one that we had for,
One in Bridgewater.
The Bridgewater, Connecticut. Bridgewater, thank you. This year we had the Mount Laurel.
Mount Laurel Resort.
Keep going.
Right.
I just feel bad. Our next interview is
the Rolly and the other and Kutchers.
And Kutchers.
Right.
Okay, we're going to move through it.
This
is the only time. This is the only time that DRS and SKA had a joint program together in this bill. The only time the DRS and SKA. We brag about the DRS SK Shidduchim, which we haven't done anything to.
DRS. After hockey night.
Sanctioned by.
Oh wow, we sit corrected. Okay, but what was the officially sanctioned DRS SKA joint program?
I think one of the greatest moments in DRS history.
Clips. I don't know.
No.
But it was like something.
I was going to say
equally
close.
good.
It was a Friday.
It was better than that.
It was
better than paper.
Let me ask
a substance abuse seminar.
Let me give you a hint. We prayed for that moment for many years.
I can't believe you.
When Gilad Shalit.
When Gilad Shalit came to DRS,
sure. You have a picture?
Sure. We don't have a picture.
Substance
You can look. If anyone wants to, you can look up a picture of him on Google. This Masechta, Rabbi Balsam, has been taught more often than any other.
Sanhedrin?
No. We learned it the first year of the yeshiva.
Beitza?
Second year.
Beitza was the first year.
Second year.
Start throwing out names.
That's it.
Jason, how many names of Masechtas do you know, Jason?
I know almost all of them.
You know almost all.
Sukkah was fourth.
The answer was Kedushin.
I wasn't here second year.
We're going to go through these quickly. Sports and leisure. This is the only time 3 grades went on a DRS trip together.
Boston?
Yes, the Boston trip.
By the way, Josh Packer's playing at home. He says, Gilad Shalit. So give him credit. Josh Packer did a great job today.
Mr. Deitch, name 5 former social studies teachers.
There's only one.
All right, I'm going to go with Jerry Schmooger.
Jerry Schmooger, sure.
The General.
Blanchard. What a roster!
He also taught
What a roster of teachers we've had here. General
Blanchard, the best one.
Yes. You're missing
social
the
studies
most
teacher
legendary.
Howie Abramowitz.
Howie Abramowitz. What about Josh Fialkoff?
Oh, Josh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Harvey Feldman himself was a social studies teacher.
There you go.
Let's go on to faculty. He is the only Rebbe that was a Gemara Rebbe for all 4 grades.
What a trick!
Every single grade.
Rabbi Farber and I spent, I believe, 6 hours coming up with this question. This was a long one. I'll give you. He went down. Meaning, he started at seniors. He's now teaching.
Rabbi Weberman?
Nope. He never taught.
Rabbi Yudin.
Rabbi Yudin.
No, Rabbi Yudin never taught. Maybe he did teach freshmen.
He taught
sophomore.
He taught 11th and 12th.
There you go, Rabbi Earlbaum taught them all.
DRS faculty 3. This is a tough. This secular studies teacher has the longest tenure in DRS and was the only teacher to have taught in the old building.
I'm raising my hand.
No, Mr. Deitch, what do you got for us?
Me.
I had it. Come on, I was going to say Mr. Deitch.
Mr. Bob Deitch.
There it is.
We did that one already. Let's move on. We did that one already. I think we're
Go to
done.
sports and leisure.
No. Wait. Okay. Sports and leisure. We got the last category. Here we go. This was the first championship in DRS history. It's actually right above you. You can't see it.
Right.
Yeah.
It was the 2000 hockey championship.
That's the
2000
first
hockey championship.
Oh, the JV.
Right.
JV,
Now,
this is,
don't look. This is the only non-sport championship banner hanging in the greenhouse. The
Building.
YU one.
MSG varsity.
No. The YU one. No.
Oh, blood drive.
Blood drive. We were blood drive champions in
We own that blood drive.
2000,
That's right.
2002.
I took 2 pints
In
that
2002, we had more blood than any other
not when we were
era.
finished.
You got a free T-shirt.
That was cool.
Finally, last question here. What was the loudest moment in a DRS sports game? You know what? I can get the. I have to get it up. I forgot to put it in here.
It's got to be the Gabriel dunk.
We're going to show you this clip.
We're going to show you the clip in a few moments.
Wasn't the Hesky Schreier?
That was in
That was
Lawrence
not
Bill's
here.
school.
That was
not here. Right,
I can bring it up here.
Okay.
Let's
that was more meaningful. But
Yes, it was.
Okay, so we want to thank our.
I don't know if they're going to be able to hear the screen though.
Whatever. They'll be able to see it. I think
just
it's worth
to
showing.
say that Brazil and Rabbi Storch called it really well.
Thank you.
We're not going to be able to hear the screen, right, Chaim? We
Chaim,
will.
Chaim's got it.
Okay, here we go. Let's see if we
I
can.
think if you type in the dunk,
if I
John
type
Starks
in dunk,
doesn't come.
if I type in
dunk DRS.
No, that's
It's
the
a
slam dunk
10-second
competition. Hold it. Here it is. Gabriel Leifer's dunk.
There's a 1 minute. It's got the replay. Okay, I'm going to get the do the.
Are they gonna, you can hear it? Really?
I can't hear it.
No, we can't hear it, but they can hear it.
Schwartz,
out
you're
there.
good.
As we watch the clip, we want to thank Rabbi Balls. I'm Jason Hagler and Mr. Judge. Thank you so much for playing
you.
DRS
Pleasure.
Jeopardy. It's been
How
a
do we get
real.
one of those old sweatshirts?
You got to raise money.
Nah. Okay.
Now Leifer gets the ball again. He's going to go straight to the hoop. Oh! He jams it! He puts it down! MVP!
Here we go. Here it is.
You ready? The crowd is going nuts! Did you see that? I don't think we just saw that! That Frisch's fell.
Once again.
Okay, we're walking around back into the war room. Chaim Chovev, class of two. You're on the phone making money. I can't. I don't want. I got a beautiful text from Adam Frolinger. Let's see who haven't we spoke with yet. Kazlau, you getting ready? The band is getting ready.
And the 10,000 we raised today. I heard about it.
Rabbi Brazil, you're going to be interviewed later.
The best line was David Shulman gives $100 in honor of Rabbi Storch's new office.
Let's hear what else we got. How we doing over here? We're collecting. Rabbi Yudin, you're doing good?
I'm closing the deal right now.
Okay. Sorry. Mr. President, you're coming on tomorrow. Look at this. We're smack in the middle of the war room. Whoa. I'm going to wait. Keep walking around. Look how busy it is back here in the war room. We're Team Goldfeder over here. We don't want to mess around with them. How's it going? You're on the phones? You're working the phones? Okay. Mrs. Kirshner's on the phone. And everybody's calling. Baruch Hashem. Rabbi Farber, are we ready for our next guest? As we have gone around, Mr. Fuchs, are you with the band later?
I will, Mirza Hashem.
Okay, that's going to be one of our feature presentations as we're going to go back to some of our original Rebbes as we get some. Here we go. Rabbi Farber back.
Once again, we are here at the Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign, raising $4 million in 36 hours for the Davis Renov-Stala
How many
Yeshiva High
hours?
School for Boys.
Rabbi
36
Farber,
hours.
27 hours, 23 minutes, 14 seconds
14
left.
seconds left. Again,
Woo, better
continuing
start
to
moving.
provide a home for rigorous Torah study, for academic excellence, for extracurricular opportunity, and all great things that we've been doing here for so long. Thank you so much for joining us. We are here now with three of the most veteran Rebbeim in DRS, Rabbi Aryeh Leibowitz, Rabbi Shlomo Klappholtz, and Rabbi David Freeman. Welcome, Rebbe's. Welcome to the broadcast.
First of all, just introduce and tell us, what years you were. Let's start. Let's do it like this. Rabbi Klappholtz, let's start with you. You were here 1997.
First year.
First year. You're in Grus Kollel the year before. You're
I was teaching in BMT.
And what happens? You get a call from your old friend Rabbi Kamenetsky. Talk us through this. What happened?
It's a long story. I was back in America for Pesach. I was visiting MTA. I was visiting some old friends, and one of my Talmidim, who was a mutual Talmid of Rabbi Kamenetsky's in 10th grade, said to me, "Oh, Rebbe, you always talked about your old Chavrusa, Rabbi Kamenetsky. Let me show you where his classroom is." And I went to visit him.
This is a Hashgacha Prata story here.
This is a tremendous Hashgacha Prata story. And Rabbi Kamenetsky was giving actually lunch shear.
Wow.
Lunch shear, which we also had it here in DRS for the first few years.
Sure. Robbie Feiner and Donnie Grossberg.
And Rabbi Kamenetsky said, please come back in 15 minutes. Do you see the light bulb above my head? I said, Rebbe, Shalom Aleichem, I haven't seen you in 3 years.
You weren't saying Rebbe at the time. There was another word you used there.
And then I came back, and he told me that we have a new yeshiva. He just got a job as a menayel, and he's looking for a 9th grade Rebbe, and he thinks I would be perfect for it.
Wow.
And the rest is history.
So, Rebbe, it's first day. Rabbi Kamenetsky has no idea what he's doing. We just discussed he's 30 years old. You're 30 years old. Let's start a yeshiva. What is that first week? What are your memories from that first week, if you have any?
First day
of that first yeshiva, which we could love to be a fly on the wall, go back in time and to see what it was like. But just give us a little bit of a picture.
You have to understand, Rabbi Kamenetsky, everything that he touches is golden.
Sure.
I remember him back from way back.
Maganav
from MTA. Everything that Rabbi Kamenetsky did always is going to be successful. So we had no doubts that it would be tremendously successful. The only question is, once the people come, then we'll be able to develop it.
Field of Dreams.
Was there an open house?
The first year, no.
The first year, no. There was just
for the second year.
Sure. Okay.
Right. So
it's
just all of a sudden you roll out and that's it. Titman Auditorium, 140 Central Avenue, and you're rolling, and that's it. First day.
We come in and we daven downstairs in the basement with all those round tables and the metal chairs in the back. I don't remember if they had bagels there. This was pre-Andre,
It's Mario.
It was Mario was there.
Boris.
Of course,
was Boris
Rabbi
there?
Zion was always around. Boris was there. And it was incredible. Incredible.
So, Rabbi Friedman, you're next. Second year. Where are you before that, and how do you wind up in DRS?
I was in Westchester Hebrew High School for 9 years. And to be thoroughly honest and pragmatic, my commutes from Oceanside to Mamaroneck, round trip on a daily basis, ran well over 2 hours.
Wow.
And on a good day. And when I heard about a position opening up, DRS.
How'd you hear about that?
At the time, there were any number of people in Oceanside who were board members in HALB.
Hillel Davis,
I remember specifically. And honest with you, I was so worn out from the commutes. And the thought of joining forces with a brand new all-boys yeshiva high school was very attractive to me. What I basically did is call every person on the board that I knew and said, at least get me an interview with Rabbi Kamenetsky. And they say the rest is history.
Wow. So, Rabbi Leibowitz, now I know it was some. You were going to Chinuch when you ran into Rabbi Kamenetsky.
Yeah, the first year of the school, I was actually a Chabura guy, but there were no Chaburas.
Minister without portfolio.
Some things never change.
Exactly. We'd go to old age homes, to nursing homes, and right, that's what the proper word. And we'd go to.
I remember that on Far Rockaway, all the way going down.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
Then the second year of the school, I wasn't involved. I got married that year. I was learning in the Kolo. And then May of the second year, I was at a wedding at Seth Grossman and Esther Resnick got married. And I was at their wedding, and Rabbi Kamenetsky came over to me and said, do you know anyone who could teach my school next year? I need an assistant Rebbe. So I recommended a name.
That was because I was graduating.
Yeah, you were graduating to become a Rebbe. So I mentioned a name, and then Rabbi Kamenetsky said, wait, why don't you do it? And I said, because I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm not going into chinuch. So he said, come do it anyway. It'll be fun.
Wow.
So you were going to chinuch?
I was not going into chinuch.
You were going to be a lawyer?
I was going to be a lawyer.
Hashem, what would have happened to the Jewish country, the Jewish nation, had you been a lawyer? Wow, amazing.
You know, Rabbi Leibowitz, we have a 10-minute break during our Gemara class. So sometimes we'll go a little bit over. So Rabbi Storch will say to me, 10 minutes. And I'll say, but Rabbi Leibowitz tells me 10 minutes is not 10 minutes. Rabbi Leibowitz knows 10 minutes sometimes is much longer than that.
Got it.
So thank you. So, Rabbi Freeman, Rabbi Klappoltz, Rabbi Leibowitz, what are your favorite memories of DRS over the years? Something that stands out, an inspirational moment, a funny moment, something that you remember and you chuckle or you it just gives you goosebumps. Were there any moments over the years, Rabbi Leibowitz, we'll start with you, because it looks like you have something.
There's so many. I just a couple of weeks ago, someone came over to me at a kiddush and said, "I can never thank you and Rabbi Storch enough for what you did for my brother-in-law." And Rabbi Storch will figure out who it was. There was a boy in the yeshiva many years ago who came to me one day and said, "Where do I get my tefillin checked?
Oh, I remember
want
that.
to get my
Holy
tefillin
cow.
checked."
Wow.
And we said, I told him where to get him checked. I said, I'll bring them for him.
called
But then
it-
I went to Rabbi Storch and Rabbi
Yeah.
Kamenetsky. I said, there's no way this kid's tefillin are going to be kosher. And his family was going through some very difficult things at the time.
Wow.
And there's no way we could ask them to buy him a new pair of tefillin. And sure enough, the tefillin were not kosher. The Rebbeim got together, and we bought him a new pair of tefillin.
Anonymously, right? That the kid didn't even know it was new tefillin or something like that. We didn't know it.
Yeah, we did something. Yeah, I don't remember how we did it exactly. And the brother-in-law came over to me and said, "You should know, my brother-in-law is a Ben Torah, and he's married, and he has children, and it's all because of what the yeshiva did for him."
Wow.
So that was like an incredible
Beautiful.
moment.
Rabbi Friedman, anything come to mind?
My earliest memory, which is really impressive, is that, I'm not.
Before you do that, could you just give us a rendition of your Kaddish?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Nothing.
Yiskandel, Shishimir Amo. It's like the Purim spiel over again. Anyway,
Rabbi, what do you got for us?
We planned that.
Rabbi Storch and I, for the first few years I was here with Chavrusas in the afternoon.
7.
Right? 7 years. 7 years Chavrusas. In fact, I used to tell his wife that next to her, I'm his most steady date.
I think at the time we learned more than I spent at home.
It's your fault that we did Shavuos that year.
That's right.
That is right. It was my decision.
We loved learning it.
We loved learning it, a little bit of a debacle teaching it, but it was definitely.
We'll get him next time.
So I have to say, one important memory of my
5
years
kids
in
off the derech.
DRS, Rabbi Storch, is you introduced me to Mike and the Mad Dog.
How about that, Rabbi Friedman? We used to drive together to Shur Yoshuv.
That's
So
right.
Rabbi Friedman introduced me to classical music, and I introduced him to Mike and the
So
Mad
you
Dog.
heard it here. 20-something years in DRS, Rabbi Friedman. The one thing that you remember is the Mike and the Mad Dog introduction.
I remember Rabbi Friedman, thinking of Rabbi Friedman when he came as like my oldest friend. He's the oldest person I knew. And now I'm older than he was when he came.
Wow.
Rabbi Leibowitz, the only problem is I haven't gotten younger.
That's true.
Rabbi Klappoltz, a memory, something that stands out?
We had a trip when we had overnight trips. We went on what we used to call the yeshiva trip when I
Sure.
taught 11th grade.
There you go.
And we had
Worst trip.
we went to Lakewood,
It's a great
and
trip.
we
Kids love
had
going into the base
special. First, we had a little tour, and then we went into Rav Matisyo Solomon. He said Refuah Shalema,
Amen.
and he spoke to us. And people still tell me that I see alumni that they remember what Rav Matisyo said from over 15 years
Wow.
ago. That is incredible. Everyone was quiet. Everyone was. I have a picture of that captioned on my wall.
There are certain Gedolim that have walked in, and the room walks in. People
Oh,
remember when
Nevin
Nevin
Saul.
Saul walked
Nevin
in?
Saul.
Just gonna say,
When he walked into the base, there was a hush.
amazing.
Incredible.
It was incredible. We also had.
Also, when John Pritikin walked into the base medrash.
It's a true story because we were all scared of him. Right. We also we had I can't believe who I believe was he was just here like 2 months ago.
Weiss?
Rav Asher Weiss came
Weiss,
to
sure.
Yeshiva. We've had some real good Rav Aaron Lichtenstein spoke to the whole Yeshiva.
Remember when Rav Aaron Lichtenstein just walked in unannounced one day, and everyone thought he was Mr. Blanchard? It was like, oh my God, that's Rav Aaron Lichtenstein.
That was uncanny.
And then
they looked alike.
He did a.
And then he served lunch.
No, then he met with the Rebbes. Do you remember this?
Yes.
He just met with the Rebbe because he finished at Rambam early or something, and then
We
he
asked him. We asked him about what his thoughts on the Yeshiva League were, and he told us the difference between Rav Hutner and Rav Moshe Feinstein and the way they ran their yeshivas. I don't remember that, but he says surely Rav Moshe had no idea they were going to play basketball when it was MTJ against Chaim Berlin. He goes, but surely Rav Hutner knew what was going on.
And Shirley is your mother's name.
That's a true story. Surely you can't be serious.
And the Larry Bird story.
I don't remember that.
Do you remember that? No? Someone asked him if
This is unbelievable.
One of the Rebbeim asked
great.
him if there's any value
It's gonna be on headlines.
in following basketball. And Rav Aaron said, playing, there's teamwork, camaraderie. Following basketball, they say that Larry Bird used to shoot, I don't know what it was, 1,000 free throws every morning. And one of the Rebbeim thought he'd be a wise guy, said, Larry who? And Rav Aaron said, I played forward for the Celtics.
Indiana State University.
Wow.
Rabbi Friedman. best bribe you ever got?
Ooh.
The best bribe I ever got. Let me tell you the most.
I think he's thinking about all the bribes that he's gotten over the years.
Is it chocolate?
There have been the most impressive bribe that I've been most impressive is what I received this year, and that is one of my talmidim orders me coffee through Uber Eats.
Oh wow, that's a next
I
level.
get an Uber Eat delivery of a hot.
Could you imagine saying that 20 years ago? And you started DRS and goes, you know, one day I'm going to get Uber Eats.
I got a phone call from the airport once, someone asking me which Toblerone bar to buy for Rabbi Freeman at the duty-free shop.
Rabbi Freeman, what about your gift from your 10th grade class in 2002?
Truth, by Farber, that is true.
Yes.
And that is the boys, under Rabbi Farber's tutelage, chipped in, and I know it's a substantial sum of money, and bought me the whole set of Turim.
Yes.
Wow.
We had no idea what it was.
And you still,
but
do you know what it is now?
What?
You know it's red.
Books.
Looks good on the shelf.
Looks good on the shelf.
Rabbi Klapholz, let's just talk. Now, again, part of what we're doing now, we look back in the past, we're in the present. Now we're really building out DRS. We're expanding. 380 kids started that first day, 26. Looking ahead, just what were your biggest accomplishments over these last 21 years? Something you could point to, just in terms of, wow, this has been, you can't believe looking back what you've been able to accomplish here.
There have been tremendous relationships developed with Talmidim over the years. Boys that, not always do they come in, especially in my shir, enjoying it, to say the least. But they put in the effort and they develop the relationship as well. How many boys have come over to me saying that, the shear that they gave at the end of the year, that shear was the first thing that set them on the road.
And you know what? That shear that you have given, that people give in your class, now almost every Rebbe in the yeshiva does. It's become like something that, for the kids, they talk about project-based learning. You're the original.
Taking the ownership of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. These chaburas
Very progressive, Rabbi.
Thank you very much.
You know that. We've always talked about Rabbi Klapholz being the progressive educator. Rabbi Friedman, biggest accomplishment that you can look back at your time here and say.
I'm going to leave the name of the individual out. He might not be comfortable with it, but I still remember one of my Timbidim a number of years ago. One of the boys had made a comment to me in 10th grade and said, Rebbe, he said, I have nothing against you, nothing against learning, but frankly, I don't really have the time to put into this. I've got to get myself into a good college. Told me this at the beginning of 10th grade. By his senior year, he was one of the best boys in Rabbi Willick's shir. And I began to see the change over the course of the year.
Amazing.
And it was just the contrast in was just amazing.
Planting seeds, Rebbe, planting seeds.
That's what we do here.
Rabbi Leibowitz? And you know what, for Rabbi Leibowitz, this is the end of an era. Rabbi Leibowitz has been with us, and he's been given Bekias even this year. And this is, now you're moving on to Yeshiva University. Now you're moving on to Yeshiva, I'm sorry about that. Now you're moving on to Yeshiva University, and you're not even going to be given Bekias, so this is a chance for you to look back.
My fourth son is entering DRS next year.
Wow.
Somebody already has that Twitter name.
Could you speak to that, Rabbi Leibowitz, being a parent of the yeshiva also?
Yeah. If I had to say accomplishment, I can answer both in one thing.
Oh, great.
Other than the relationships with Talmidim, which obviously is always first and foremost, and it's just an amazing thing that it's like the gift that keeps on giving. The ability to spend all of those years under Rabbi Kamenetsky's tutelage and just watching him in action, I feel like I know more about chinuch than so many people just from watching, just from being in proximity. And that's what I wanted my kids to be a part of. Like I wanted them to be part of his yeshiva with his rebbeim that he.
You know what it is again? If you, maybe I see it's just the 100%. It's the laser-like focus.
Incredible.
And it's just the time that he's willing to put in.
Incredible.
It's just something to behold.
Rabbi Kamenetsky still sets up cones for the football tournament at the Shabbaton, and that's Rabbi Kamenetsky, right? I mean, does it say?
I'll tell you, when my first year teaching, I was an assistant teacher, assistant Rebbe, and we were on a trip. Rabbi Klapholz was there, I believe.
Kama was learning that.
I don't remember where we were. We were in a mall somewhere, and we were talking about a boy that was in 9th grade in Rabbi Klapholz's class, I think. And I mentioned, and the boy was having struggles. And I mentioned to Rabbi Kamenetsky that he had asked me what I was like at his age. And Rabbi Kamenetsky said, that's fantastic that he asked you that. I said, why? He said, because that means he thinks he might be from in a few years. And that boy That boy is the one that when his son's bris, when he was learning in the Kollel
Beautiful story.
he said, "I'd like to be Mechabed the Zaydi with Sandik."
Beautiful story.
Wow.
Okay, so going ahead, just what do you think this, Rabbi Klappels, Rabbi Friedman, just final words, what do you think this building is going to mean for DRS, and why should people give tonight?
I don't see how we can continue to deliver the product that we want to deliver to the kids unless you got the maximum physical facility. It's not fun to teach in the basement.
I hear you, Rebbe.
It's simply not fun.
Especially post-Sandy.
It's a little classic.
I don't remember. The day after Sandy, I walked into the building, and I took one step, and I was in water as going down to the basement. The basement, we had pictures. We would love to show pictures tonight. They're just all buried in Sandy. But that's a great point. Rabbi Klappholtz?
The same issue. We have classes in the base medrash. We just don't have the wherewithal to
It's a big mitzvah to give tonight because you're helping the education of the future. Any last words, Rabbi Leibowitz?
Nope.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was a classic Rabbi Leibowitz. We had a 20-minute interview with 23 minutes. So we're right on par with his 10-minute halachas.
Again, we're here at the Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign, raising $4 million in 36 hours. I know Rabbi Storch is going to correct me. It's not 36 hours.
No, it's not, Rabbi.
There aren't 37
hours,
there were
5
36
minutes,
hours
there
in
was.
total. But again, please continue to give to provide a home for rigorous Talmud Torah, for academic excellence,
I'm
and
going
for
to
all
go
the
through
great
some of these
opportunities we
here.
give. Yes, please.
You go get our next guest. But thank you
Sure.
very much, Rabbi Leibowitz, Rabbi Friedman, Rabbi Klappel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Rabbi Farber, I'm going to run through some of these now. We want to give a special thank you to all the people who have been giving tonight and has continued to give. First of all, Anonymous steps up again with $20,000, which is tremendous. Anonymous keeps giving. Somebody gave, for the music room, $144,000 tonight. Momika.
Thank you, Momika.
You're not on. Momika. No, because you're going to get our next guest now. We got Josh and Alana Kirshner. That's, of course, our president's son. Josh Kirshner was in my shir in 2007. He has given $4,000. Ari Feldstein, who lives in Baltimore, graduate of 2006. He has given $200. Again, all these are multiples of 4. We get David and Betsy Mandel, whose son is, I believe, in the Navy. They gave $400. Rebecca and Jeffrey Misher, they gave $720. Now, Noah Wexelbaum, beautifully done. I just saw him this morning, class of 2006. He gave $1,000 in honor of Chaim Choveh for volunteering to arrange the class 06 reunion. We have Anonymous again, giving Gedalia Yitzchak Ben.
The war room for a second.
Yeah. Well, let me finish this, and then you'll do that. Gedalia Yitzchak. Also, there's Gedalia Yitzchak Ben Shmuel. We have an honor. Somebody gave an honor of Shua Drang, who just had a baby this past week. Sunday, the bris happened, which is beautiful. Somebody gave Beat the Storch, $144. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Carrying Ken Jerome, $400. Yaakov and Levana Feldstein.
Okay, we are here. We're here in the war room. Just to take a break, walking over to some of our callers. We got Chaim Chodev here. Chaim, how you doing? Are you on a call right now? Yeah. You're actually on a call right now. You're on a call, but who are you? With Adam Frolinger, a member of your class? No, he's not. No. Tell Adam that we thank him so much for his contributions. Thank you, Rabbi Janikowski. Thank you so much for all your calls today. We have students here who are calling late into the night. How you doing, guys? Any good calls lately? No. We are going to scratch that. We're not going to. We're going to talk about that. Look at this, Mr. Kirshner. What's going on? You came here to make some calls and to hang out with your old classmates. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, we are coming back here to the broadcast, and we are going to. I'm sorry?
Both of us are on now?
Check. Check one,
okay.
check two.
I
got it. I want to introduce. You want to?
We want to take a moment. Just want to take a moment.
Oh, this is a great moment
to
that we
thank all of our alumni who have served in the IDF.
What a moment!
So many alumni who have chosen to really risk their lives for Medinat Yisrael, for Eretz Yisrael, for Am Yisrael, and we want to thank all of these alumni. Really incredible. We thank them so much. The whole nation thanks you so much. All the Jewish people thank you, and we're proud. We're very, very proud that these boys, that these alumni, have taken upon themselves this incredible feat. Thank you so much. We are going to skip for a second to Dr. Broder here. Let me just find Dr. Broder's slide. Where is Dr. Broder's slide?
Where is Dr. Broder? Here he is. There we go. Okay, we are here with Dr. Hillel Broder, the 5th principal of secular studies in DRS. Dr. Broder, welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. This is great.
Dr. Broder, we're fired up. We're going to start. We've never done this before. We've never done a broadcast, but we've never had a poetry reading before. So, Dr. Broder's new, not new, he's his second year, and one of the things that Dr. Broder, if you look at your beard, it's,
I know. I'm old.
It's getting a little white there. But Dr. Broder is really a avid poet, and he's volunteered. I don't know if you're reading some of yours or some of the students tonight.
Yeah, maybe I'll do both.
Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of Dr. Broder poetry reading.
He's a poet, and he didn't even know it.
He knew it.
Awesome.
Okay, so Dr. Broder, Rabbi Neumann, do we have this? First of all, we have to thank, before we start, Rabbi Neumann has really helped with the broadcast. Do we have a sponsorship of this poetry yet? We're working on a sponsorship.
Can't pass.
We're working on U of Purim.
U of Purim.
We know where to go. Okay, we're trying to get a sponsorship. Okay, so Dr.
Shout
Broder,
out to the U of Purim guys watching.
Let's hear what you got to say.
Sure. Well, I figured I would start with a Sphira poem tonight.
You have a book on that?
Yeah.
You could plug it.
Well, it's okay. It's on Amazon, but I'll send it to anybody who's watching as a PDF. Just let me know.
Free
it's
swag.
Dr. Broder. Just tonight. Only tonight, over the next 36 hours.
How much is the book?
How much does it cost?
Yeah.
On Amazon? Yeah, $7.
So you can buy the book or you can donate $7 to the DRS expansion campaign here. Dr. Broder, go ahead.
Awesome. Great plug. So tonight is the 41st night?
I haven't counted. I don't want to say it.
Okay, last night was the 40th night.
Yeah, last night, the guy comes home and he asks his wife their balei tshuva.
Yeah.
And he goes to his wife, and his wife asks, and he asks his wife, "What's for dinner?" And she says,
"What was for dinner last night?"
Last night was chicken.
Last night was chicken. By the way, I'm out. So.
Okay, I'm in.
Those Friday nights, those early Friday nights. Go ahead.
So thinking along the lines of the Sphirot, I'll just read one of the poems. I'll read last night's. I'll read tonight's. So
if
for
you haven't counted at home, you could count now. Okay, go.
There you go. So Hod of Yesod. Hod of Yesod, thinking about Aaron HaKohen in relation to Yosef, perhaps. The Aaron within Yosef. So the poem is short. These are all really short poems. They were all tweeted way back when. The poem goes, Vayas Cain Aaron. Yes. And Aaron's all about Cain, right? He's always saying yes. When coats silently shed, brothers always rise. Vayehi ish matzliach. Yes, pairs offer, strange peace circumscribed. Briti shalom. That's the Hod of Yesod poem, and then Yesod of Yesod.
I'm going to ask you to repeat that back, Rabbi Farber.
It's so weird.
Rabbi Farber's got this. How would you do Dr. Broder's class?
What's that?
How would you do in Dr. Broder's class?
I would do fine.
You'd be great.
I'd be great.
You'd be great. I would love to have you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I have? There's no way I could have had you. You were 2006.
I'm a year younger.
2004.
I think you were in my class in YU, actually, in a Bible class.
We were in a class together.
We were in class together.
Yeah. I'm guessing you guys took different kinds of notes.
But I started teaching in 2007. So
MTA.
Yeah, I started right out of YU.
You have one more poem, and then we'll get to that. Or
yeah. I'll read Yesod of Yesod.
So read Yesod of Yesod, then we're going to talk about some of your visions and dreams.
So Yesod of Yesod is interesting also because a year ago, Yesod of Yesod, our baby was born. And I remember it because it was Yesod of Yesod.
I remember because where it was born.
Baby born in Long Beach. Born and bred in Long Beach.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Dr. Broder gets my jokes.
The baby is an ocean baby.
I'm Evan Yovin.
So, Yesod of Yesod. Lama Noach, Trey Zimni. Right, the Zohar asks, why does Noach happen? Why is Noach repeated? Right? Noach, Yish Tzadik. And the Zohar explains that anytime you have a doubling of the names, Moshe, Avram, it's because they're the same as above as they are below. And with the exception of Yitzchak is not doubled. It's because he's always above. He's always been in the world above. Lama Noach Trei Zimni. With or without you, the same. This world, next, the edge of being, influence itself, Vitzadik be'amunato yichya.
Wow.
That's Yesod of Yesod.
Wow. Dr. Broder, this is amazing.
I tweeted these poems. This is a whole. So Josh Rosenfeld and I.
PhD. at twitter.com.
Classmate,
right.
DRS,
So there you go. So plug for Roosevelt
Rose.
Brothers,
You know,
Shul Rose.
as you're saying this, every DRS alum who's ever written a book is like, Dr. Bush's like, well, you gotta say something about my book, Synagogue.
D-Bash, Synagogue.
So Dr. Broder, what's your first memory of DRS? Where did you first meet a DRS kid? Like,
Yeah. So I've always wanted to be a DRS kid. I'm wearing wearing my Wildcat sweatshirt. I'm character 0. I'm number 0. The reason why I always wanted to be a DRS kid is because when I was in YU, I was a true freshman. I didn't go to Israel first. I was a true freshman. I was actually in Nurse Sobolevsky's shiur the first year he gave shiur with a lot of other true freshmen. 2002 with Yoni Statman.
Oh, wow. He didn't go because of the war. He was one of 4 graduates of the 2002 class not to go to Eretz Yisrael.
I don't know if you saw Yoni Statman
gave it
donated today
in
your honor.
Yeah,
I was about
Yoni,
to say
thank
your
you.
memory, but I meant your honor.
He's still here.
Okay.
After that poem.
My past self is gone, but I'm present. So Yoni was a great friend. Then I went to Israel, and I ended up learning in OJ with Yoni Sonnenblick, Dave Warman.
David Warman, now in Toronto. Yoni Sonnenblick in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, these are 2 great people. And
members of the Egregious 11. That was their crew back in the day.
They were quite a crew. And
yes.
I think what I found, and I actually mentioned this when I met the school community for the first time, what I found most impactful and most interesting about the DRS boys that I knew when I was 18 and 19 was that they were so normal, so youthful, so ambitious, so aspirational. They had a great balance, a great medium, and maybe so young at heart. And I think they got that from their role models here. I think they got that from the rabbis here, Rabbi Storch, Rabbi Kamenetsky, all the other rebbes here. There's something to be said about your youthfulness, the way that you model that as a life skill, as a way of staying young, and as a way of seeing the world. And that, for me, characterized what it meant to be a DRS kid.
Beautiful. So now you show up, you hear about the job opening, and what makes you say, you know what, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring? You're an SAR, and you're saying you're happy there, you're doing nice things, freshman
I
dean.
mean, honestly, it was the biggest. I mean, I love everything about DRS boys. I knew a lot about the culture, the warmth, the spirit. I know that they had this magic that pretty much every other school was trying to capture. But I was excited about being with a leadership team that had been doing something consistently well for so long. That, for me, was the most compelling reason to reach out.
Wow.
A lot of other schools have tons of turnover on their leadership.
Wow, we've been here for a couple of years.
It comes from the top. It does come from the top.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big believer education is modeled, and this is like the Slobodka of modern Orthodox high schools. I don't know if that's like weird to say.
The Alter would be happy. Yeah. You know, they were very colorful in Slobodka.
Yeah.
I thought this was Novotnik.
No. Godless.
Godless Adam, not
shiftless
Adam.
The Novotnik guy, he goes into the base magic. A rookie comes in, he goes, "I'm a garnished." So he starts yelling. The first guy goes, "I'm a garnished. I'm a garnished." They go, "Shut up! You just got here yesterday. You're not such a garnished yet."
Speaking of which, what do you call a Bukharian that you cross with a brisker?
Briskerov.
The Briskerov.
So, Dr. Broder, you're here now. Vision for the Future, General Studies.
Living Presence.
We're building.
I got to plug Benji Epstein's book. We're here now. We're being here now.
So what's the big idea that you want to give over into DRS? You know,
there's
today and tomorrow.
Today and tomorrow.
I don't want to go so far into that. Living in the Presence.
Right.
Beautiful book written by Dr. Levi Chester, Benji Epstein.
Sure. That's right. Maybe they're all watching on Twitter somehow. Somewhere.
Well, yeah.
David's watching.
David's watching.
Yeah. Hey, David.
There's so much good that's going on here, and really, in my mind, I read the book The First 90 Days before I got here. The First 90 Days is about diagnosing the need for change in institutions as a leader, and I found that this school really needs its excellence sustained as opposed to, or accelerated as opposed to reversed. This is not a startup school, and I'm not coming into a startup position. I'm coming into a school that's bursting at the seams, that's super popular, that's doing something really, really well. And my mission is to take that and just maximize it, to make it everywhere and everything. The magic that the Rebbes have, I want that magic to be everywhere with every single teacher. So I'm trying to build on those strengths, take those strengths, and shout them to the world. All the creative moments that happen. We have so many creative things happening. Our Farber's graphic design class is amazing. They're producing incredible materials. That's the kind of thing we've got to showcase to the world. We've got to plaster on the walls of the cafes of the 5 towns so everyone knows what awesome things are happening here. that's the work that needs to get done. I think a lot of what we need to do is amplify the good.
It's beautiful.
Thank you so much, Dr. Broder. By the way, one last thing. You inspired me just before you leave.
You wrote a poem?
Dr. Broder.
Oh, gosh.
Growing older. Always walking around with your folder.
Now you know why he's teaching graphic arts and not English.
Hillel Bro, for show.
Oh, very nice. Awesome. Just one ha'ara last night was 39 in the Omer. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Oh, we're out.
So
Are you sure?
We're out then.
Somebody called in. We had good callers tonight. So whatever it is. I'm just saying that not
Should I read one more poem then?
On your way out, sure. And then we're going to do a little Stump the Storch, and then...
we're going to do something. We're coming up next. David Bashevkin's top 5.
Oh, okay.
David Bashevkin's top 5 list coming up next.
Yeah, what do you got for us, Dr.
So maybe I'll read a student's poem.
A student's poem.
Student's poem.
No more of my own poetry. So we ran this slam poetry team here, and that's something that I brought here, and we're building and building. We're trying to make it big. D-Bash. And we've done some poetry stuff together, D-Bash and I. So this is a student who likes to dance, actually, and he wrote this poem, and there's some dance references here. So it's called Unstrap. I have a question. When you see your reflection, are you happy with the person you see in your mirrored complexion? I grew up in a world so controlling of my life, limitations and restrictions taking over every dance session. I breathed hip-hop, and I think we know who wrote this.
Sure.
I breathed hip-hop day and night. It was the core and center of my life.
I don't know.
And he gave me permission to read this. But was I free? Was I free?
It was Avi Kupchak.
I've been masked by the wants and needs of others. It was a matter of time before I thought to myself, nobody tells you what you can do. They're not you. They never walked in your shoes. But who needs shoes to put on a mask? See, using our words to compel others has become a relatively easy task, but when you zoom out for one quick second, you'll realize we all work towards money when really all we need is a reality check. We've given strangers too much power through an Instagram comment or text. So I ask of you, take off the strap of that mask you use to hold yourself back and just be real to yourself. Next.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Dr. Broder, you're inspiring kids to really
I hope so.
to really do incredible things. We
We're
are
doing
here
it
at the
together.
Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign raising $4 million and 36 houses. We need to keep saying this because we want you to give.
That's
we want
right.
you to contribute. We're trying to build a DRS of tomorrow. We can only do so with all of your help.
Jacob Appel with $40. Going to read
Thank you.
somebody's...
So I am amazed at the text that I'm getting that people are actually watching this.
Yeah.
thing. It's incredible. Jacob Appel just sent me a picture of a viewing party that he's having with his friends.
As he should.
As he should.
Josh Fisher, by the way, from Cincinnati, Ohio, $72.
Hey, Josh.
Do we know how many people are actually watching this right now?
We don't know.
Do we know how many people are watching right now?
I just want to give some
numbers?
shout-outs
Do you
here.
have numbers?
Josh and Minna Fisher gave $72. That's from Cincinnati. Anonymous chimed in together, $144. Sam and Ben Kramer, $4,000. Atara and Maury Goldsmith, $4,000. Seymour,
$400.
Wow, just a lot of stuff. Terry and Stuart Wagner, $2,000. Lee Bignoni Pollock, $28. And away with Yosef Hagler, $200, who helps out with the alarms. V'chula, you can go on and click on your right, and you could see Donnie and Yoni Savitsky, they're not married. They're brothers, if you keep score at home. They gave $400.
Beautiful.
So,
Thank you for giving some of your bar mitzvah money.
So thank you very much to Dr.
Beat the
Broder.
Storch donated $140. Who is that? They must be one. They want to beat you in the. They want your team to win. That must be. Maybe that's Packer.
That's a move.
That could be. You knew you can see whose team that is. Go down to beat the Storch.
Beat the
Storch. Beat the Storch.
Beat the Storch.
Click that right there. Click that little thing.
You would say before that.
Click that little thing. Click this little thing. Click this thing right here. Storch. Click this thing right here.
This thing?
Yeah. Donated with Rabbi Yehuda.
It's those guys. Okay, Rabbi Farber.
David
Let's go top five.
Bashevkin, a graduate of 2002, who since then has become a real personality in the Jewish world, writing for Mishpacha magazine every week, putting out his top 5 list, his famous top 5 list.
Mishpacha magazine.
What are we looking for? Excellent. David Bashevkin, we asked, hey, how are we doing there?
There you go.
David Bashevkin, we asked David to put out his top 5 things that changed since I was in high school. Rabbi you were going to comment on David's top. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. Number one. The Menahel's email was yiskam@juno.com.
Juno.com. You got a CD. You put it into the computer, and they gave you free. The other option, of course, was AOL for $20.
Do you remember the days of AIM, Instant Messenger, and things like that? Do you remember my screen name?
Imitator 624.
Imitator 624 because I imitated all the rabbis in the school.
So in the old building, we had to dial up to get on the internet.
Yes.
1998. Then all of a sudden, one day, Chaim Hollander comes into the office with the tie that's not done, and he starts doing things. And the next day, I try to dial up, and all of a sudden, there's this thing. It's a cable modem. and they came up with the DRS how. But yiskam@juno.com.
Rabbi Storch, what is the capital of Alaska?
Juneau.
No, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. Okay, number two. My hair was brown.
Don't remember.
David.
Don't remember. Harayani, what's it? Harayani Kiven Shiv Shana?
That's right. David is actually 52 years old. He's like what? He's like Shmuel.
Yeah, he's old.
No, Shmuel was added on to someone else.
I think David, by the time he came back from his experience in Shalvim, was already looking like that. But it's stately.
I think David wants us to move on. Number three, Rabbi Storch no longer coach. Rabbi Storch, you coach basketball?
Fun fact, I show up in 1998. I'm the assistant, so they need a JV coach. And back then, we didn't hire him. Oh, who's going to be doing it? So they said, Storch, you're sitting in the office.
It was a two-grade team at that.
A two-grade team. All we had was 9th and 10th graders. We started off the season 0-3, but then all of a sudden we start Eli Schulman, Justin Schussheim, these guys. We went 5-5. It was the first DRS basketball team to make the playoffs. But I said, you can't be a Rebbe and be a coach. Because a Rebbe, all the kids think I can't do it, so you have to build them up. A coach, everybody thinks they're Michael Jordan. You can't do it. So it's a different skill set. I couldn't do it. Really? So, but I love coaching basketball. I always thought I wanted to coach basketball and be a Rebbe. But after that year, I realized, one and done. 5-5.
Put me in, coach.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
Number four, stopped having nightmares of Rabbi David Willie calling him at 4 a.m.
I'm surprised he stopped having those nightmares.
And finally, number five, Temple Israel is now a fancy schmancy. Oh,
so it's interesting. What happened to Temple Israel?
David just tweeted this.
He did. It's called the Mansion.
It's called the Mansion.
What's interesting also, some people bought properties over there. And my daughter is friends with them, and there's a bowling alley down there.
Yes.
So a lot of stuff going on.
The old wiffle ball field is now someone's house.
And people used to do there was a sign, first conservative shul on Long Island, I think it said over there.
Right.
So now the JCC is there. There's houses in front. There's a mansion.
Right. You want to talk about Cohen Day?
Cohen Day was remarkable. Yoni Sonnenblick, if you remember, lived right across. So if there was a levaya going on,
in the temple,
all the clowns said, "Sorry, I can't go." There were two options.
Right.
One was Yoni Sonnenblick to go to his house. The other option, I had a white car back then, which couldn't be locked, and the doors were always open, so people would just pile in there and just spend the day there.
If you were a Cohen, you got to leave. Everybody was praying for people to die.
Ari Pearl, David Meza, turn back the clock. These are the original Kohanim.
Unbelievable. Okay, again, we are here at the Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign. Rabbi Storch, why don't you go into the crowd, into the war room, take us into the war room, and
You got the next guest.
We're going back into the war room.
We need representation.
And we're checking out what's going on here. We got one of the Fuchs brothers. There was a question tonight of naming twins in DRS. And Fuchs is one of them, but you're not identical. How are you feeling about tonight, and how are the calls going?
They're going great. Raised a lot of money, thank God, and it's great.
We're up to $1.5 million. The Wildcats hockey's now past me. Yisrael Leibowitz, talk to me for 1 second. He's been the intern. He's been working on charity for the last 2 weeks. Yisrael, what'd you learn about this event?
How much work it takes to put this all together.
Right, it looks like we just show up and we're ready to go. Who are you calling right now?
I don't know. Hello?
We're live on a real call. We have another Goldfeder here. Goldfeder, how does it feel to be part of Team Goldfeder?
Amazing.
Do you know that there's never been a triplets full squad before? Have you known that? You're the first triplets in DRS.
I did not know that. I'm happy I made history.
We had the Wernicks before, but only 2 of them were male, so you're the first full set. So thank you very much for that. So we're walking around. Rabbi Neumann, you spent a lot of time putting together this program tonight, behind the scenes. Rabbi Neumann, how are you feeling tonight?
Super excited. This is really great. The energy is great. You know, a lot of people tuning in, watching the stream. Hopefully we're going to get a lot more people tuning in, donating, giving to this great cause, and really helping us move forward.
How excited about you to shave your beard when Sphere is over?
I'm so excited. I'm also excited to move out of the base medrash for a Chumash class. Really excited when we get a new classroom. We'll be able to really, take the teaching to another level. It's going to be super exciting.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Neumann, for all that you do for the yeshiva. We're coming back now. We got Rabbi Brazil and Rabbi Yudin coming up. Rabbi Brazil and Rabbi Yudin.
Toby, we're back. Could someone bring us some food? There's a whole thing of food back there. We didn't eat all night.
I did. You're supposed to eat.
I can't hear Rabbi Yudin for some reason.
That's the point. We're
Toby?
supposed to mute him until we're ready.
Is Rabbi Yudin ready?
I'm ready.
I can hear you. Pull up your thing a little closer.
I can hear you.
Again, we're here at the Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign. You can't say blah, blah, blah. By the way, for all of you texting me that you're watching, you got to give too. It's not just enough to watch. You got to give. We're here with
and if you're watching, just give $1 on the broadcast. Just
$1
say
something.
$1 is $4.
We're good now.
We're here with Rabbi Aryeh Yudin,
Tis.
the Dean of Students in DRS, and Rabbi Eli Brazil, the Director of Student Activities. I feel like Nachum Siegel. I love this.
Nachum Siegel was my counselor in 1982.
Rabbi Brazil and Rabbi Yudin, tell us about how your career in DRS. We'll start with you, Rabbi Yudin. We think that you had a little.
Let's go. I'm sorry.
Well,
let's go chronologically.
Well, Rabbi Yudin's story is probably a little bit.
Rabbi Yudin, you can start Rabbi Yudin.
No. Who's older here?
Rabbi Brazil.
Oh, okay. Let's start with Rabbi Brazil then. He's got quite a story.
Just tell us first how you met Rabbi Kamenetsky. Do you remember?
I think it was in Camp Misora.
I should have got that picture up.
The second year of Camp Misora.
That's a classic picture in your
classic
the
picture.
big glasses.
That is a classic picture. It was the second year of Camp Misora. He was my division head.
They weren't just big, by the way, the glasses. They were a little misleading because you weren't sure where his eyes were going.
Right.
And it was my second year there.
I better be quiet.
Second year of camp.
He's right behind me.
And he was the division head. And from then, I came knocking on his doors
So,
many years later.
Rabbi Brazil, you're living in the neighborhood. There's no job for you in DRS. It's the year we think 2000. You have to go
We're not
check
sure.
in. We're not really sure. Rabbi Brazil, what's your plan? What do you do?
I literally knock on his door, asking him,
Unannounced? You didn't even know you were coming.
There was no texting those days, And I knocked on his door.
How you would have sent him a letter saying I'm coming over or something.
Send an owl.
And I sat down with him, and he made up
Shabbatogram.
And he didn't have anything available. Then Baruch Hashem, he made up a job.
No. That's not what happened.
You were persistent.
No.
I was very
That's
persistent.
not what happened. You wrote your own job description.
He told me, what could you write a job description?
So who was the director of student activities at the time?
Rabbi Benovitz was at the time. We were sitting, it was in the temple, and I wrote up a job description, and I did odds and ends, in the building, sat in the lobby. I had a desk and table in the lobby.
There was a security person and there was you.
There was a security person with me, and I remember when Kamenetsky went to Shir, I used to use his computer. There's only like 1 or 2 computers in the building, and that was it. And we're here today.
Wow. Rabbi Yehuda?
Yeah.
You grew up in New Jersey. This is Long Island. What your first Hal memory after your wedding?
My first Hal memory.
I assume your wedding is your first Hal memory.
Could we, just for those who don't know, Rabbi Yudin is. Rabbi Yudin's married to Atara Williams.
Yeah.
Yudin. Atara's father, Jerry Williams. Jerry. If Jerry was here, he would plots over this thing.
He's here.
He's watching right
he's
now.
He's watching from Israel.
Is he?
5 in the morning.
Yes.
He's watching.
I really hope Jerry's watching.
Of course he's watching.
He'll be watching the repeat.
Whenever Natan's putting on a show,
That's
he's watching.
True. But he's
your biggest fan.
Shout out to Shlomi Goldberg, who just gave $4,000, 2007. Okay,
very
continue.
nice. I want to give a shout out to Simcha Wyman, Baruch Hashem, who just gave a very nice pledge to the DRS. So beautiful.
So, Rabbi Yudin, the Williams, the Yudins have a long-standing history with the Kamenetskys.
Oh,
the Williams
way
family,
back.
Please tell us a little bit about that.
Way back. So the truth is, Rabbi Kamenetsky's father, Alav Hashalom,
whose yahrzeit was
the Avelis ended.
The Avelis ended last week. So Rabbi Kamenetsky's father, Alav Hashalom, went to high school with my father.
Wow.
They both had a dream. One had a dream to become a Rav of a community. The other had a dream to become a principal. And Baruch Hashem, they both actualized their dreams. They were very, very close in high school. And thank God it continued to the next generation.
Unbelievable.
And even the generation after,
wow.
Baruch Hashem. So we have 3 generations of very close connections between the Yudin and the Kamenetskys.
And how you...
I was in Rabbi Kamenetsky's shir in 10th grade in MTA.
You kicked the coke.
It was his second...
What was the coke? How good of a student were you?
I will tell you about that. We learned Maseches Pesachim that year. I'll never forget.
There you go.
I was the only kid that got thrown out of the class the entire year.
What'd you do?
I'll tell you what I did. All right? Now listen, we're going to charge this. I know we're on the air. It's not X-rated. Don't worry.
This is now the dean of students.
That's right. That's why I'm able to be the dean of students. But we're going to charge for this story. If people want to hear the story, they got to go ahead and they got to pledge towards the cause. But I will tell you, he used to give chavrusa time, and we were learning in the classroom a little bit of chavrusa, and then my chavrusa had a Snapple bottle, and we were having a catch with the Snapple bottle with our feet. We were kicking it back and forth like a soccer ball.
Kick the can.
And basically, our Kamenetsky saw what we were doing, and he came over and he intercepted the Snapple bottle, threw it in the garbage can. When he wasn't looking, going back to those glasses that we were talking about before, at least I thought he wasn't looking. I quickly went into the garbage can. I took it back out.
Oh, that's a no-no.
I go back into the garbage can.
What would you do nowadays in DRS?
I don't know. And I resumed.
What is
hold on. We resumed the catch with our feet. Hey, Chazdei Hashem. And guess what happened?
Nope.
He saw. And guess what he did?
He threw you out.
Yeah, he gave me the...
So today, a DRS student does that. What does he get?
Yeah.
What is
Well,
that, a detention?
That's right.
That's very good.
What would you do? You're now Rabbi Yudin.
He sits outside our office for a couple hours.
Is that with Debbie? Is that what happened?
He sets up the charity day.
Sets
You
up
probably,
the charity
so Rabbi
day.
Yudin, how do you get to how do you get to DRS? How do you get the job in DRS?
How did I get the DRS? So the truth is...
I think I called you.
You didn't call me.
I did call you.
It wasn't you who called me.
You called somebody.
I actually
Rabbi
interviewed...
Yudin and I met in 1998 when you came to me about that guy.
Yes, that guy in that camp.
That guy in that
In
camp.
that
I made
camp.
that trip up.
Yes,
Rabbi
I
Storch,
remember.
we're trying to find out how Rabbi Yudin got to DRS.
So I will tell you, I was actually interviewing, and I even was about to give a model lesson in a different school in the neighborhood, let's just say, yes. And I didn't really have my eyes and my heart set on Hal for a number of personal reasons.
Sure.
Really? And Rabbi Kamenetsky actually called me up, and he said, "What are you, joking?" I said, "Listen, Rebbe, he understood them, but he goes, they're not acceptable reasons. Get over here right now."
Wow.
And I came, and he had me give a model lesson in the temple. It was the last year in the temple. Rabbi Emerson Shear.
Sure.
Emerson
Wow.
Shear. And
we were expanding to a third.
these were ninth grade.
Right.
These were ninth graders, and they were actually my first class.
They were also your first senior class. Is that true?
No.
That wasn't the
that
same?
was years later. Come on, Rabbi Farber.
2011.
But I remember I gave a model lesson, Maseches Sukkah, in the temple. I remember that.
Wow.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. Incredible.
The rest is history. I came the next year, and that was it.
Those
The
were
rest
great
was
days,
history.
those temple days. You remember those temple days?
Oh,
gosh.
the best. One whole.
You guys
day-
moved into the building that
One
year,
whole-
Pesach.
Yeah,
Which is
one
good, 'cause
hallway.
when did you move into your
Rosh Chodesh
house?
Nisan.
When did you move into the house, which is right around the corner?
That
You were living in Queens
2000
that first year or no?
Yes. No, we moved into the house that year.
To live around the corner from
Yes,
school.
very exciting.
First, you walk in
and
first.
you, and
never
you drive.
before?
I don't drive.
You
What
do
are
drive sometimes.
Are you kidding?
I've
Only
seen you
'cause
drive.
I drove the
These
first
are
15
The
years.
first 15 years. But recently you got into this
exercise
thing.
Exactly.
So
Right.
let's go down memory. Yeah, Rabbi.
What was the highlight of your guys in the temple? What was your highlight?
Oh my goodness! A long hallway that always smelled like the third period of a locker room. My memory, Rabbi Storch was my Ivrit teacher in ninth grade.
Ivrit.
Sure. The Tippmann Auditorium, Boris. I mean,
I remember.
my memory
I
is
remember the
anytime
blue
was-
couch. There was a blue couch, and anytime you went there, down in the basement,
was
and there was
gross.
somebody who always slept there. So much so that before cell phones, like we had to. Somebody spent the whole night there. Nobody even knew. And we get there the next morning, and there he is, waking up, doing Nagelwasser.
My highlight is when there was a funeral in the
We
the
spoke about-
synagogue.
yeah,
You
all
spoke
the
about-
time.
Everyone had to leave.
we spoke about that.
Suddenly.
Everybody was davening for people to die every day.
And every guy was a Kohen. He left us there.
Right. You had people who never knew they were going. Look at this. I just bought it. So let's talk memories. Rabbi Brazil, favorite,
Program.
most inspiring memory that you have over the years.
Many years ago, when Gilad Shalit was coming to school, and he was late. Everyone was waiting in the auditorium in the base medrash. And Rakanshi goes, "Go entertain him in the gym." I had a 3-point contest.
Get outta here.
With Gilad Shalit.
Who won?
He had a good shot.
Really?
He won.
Gilad Shalit beat you.
And then we were talking. It was fascinating.
What was amazing about that is we spent 3 years davening for Gilad Shalit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he shows up in our base medrash.
Yeah.
It was, we had a Jeopardy trivia contest earlier. It was, what was the only co-ed event in the history of DRS?
DRS SK joined.
Yeah.
How many DRS SK Shidduchim came out of that event?
We're up to 100.
101.
Unbelievable.
101.
The boys were locked in the room.
It's funny you mentioned Gilad Shalit because the truth is the Gilad Shalit program was especially moving and meaningful, obviously, but there was one moment in the Gilad Shalit assembly that was incredibly inspiring. That was when Miriam Peretz, who happened to have been in town and wasn't part of it, she was standing in the corner, and Gilad Shalit's mefaked, his captain, got up there and he said, "I want to stop the program," and he told everybody that here's a woman, Miriam Peretz, who's lost 2 or 3 children, two kids in battle. The husband Nebuch passed away, and he got up and he said he was a Chiloni captain. He wasn't a religious captain, I remember, but he turned to her and he said, "I want you to know that there's a tremendous tzaddikas in the room." And he also said that after 120 years, Avram Avinu is going to come.
I remember that moment.
And going to greet Miriam Peretz in Shemayim. And he explained, he said, listen, he's going to say, Hashem only told me to go ahead and offer my kid as a korban, and in the end I never followed through, but you offered 2 korbanos, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so Avram's going to come greet her, and the whole place stood up and was clapping for Miriam Peretz.
I remember that.
That was incredible. But just to make it a little bit lighter, one
Yes.
of my favorite memories of DRS, we were zocha many times to have tissues in the house. Thank God we still do. But I have one beautiful
The rain.
scene.
The rain?
The rain. Well, you could set your clocks. Anytime they would have it in our house, it would pour, Baruch Hashem. But
That's
I will
why we
tell you,
stopped, you know.
Rabbi Farber,
Mad
I
Tish
could close
action?
my eyes, Mad Tish action, and he's up there singing Sushi Arim
the soda bottles.
the soda bottles as the Sifrei Torah caressing the soda bottles. Oh, that was good
What
shtick.
about the walks back from West Hempstead?
Walk back. Oh, some of the
those
stuff
are
we
the-
can't
we
talk
can't say.
about.
That's it.
That you
We
can't
can't
say
know.
online.
Some of the
There's
things we
one
cannot
stop
talk
over
about.
there. There's one stop by that sign.
by the
We're like,
sign.
oh, dude.
We will not talk about the white fence.
We will, right.
Rabbi, I learned something from Brazil.
When it
I learned from
snowed.
Brazil on those walks and he learned it from Mike Francesa, is
The
that
bags.
you take the bags and you put it between your shoes and your socks, and you stay warm the
What's
whole
the
time.
biggest rookie mistake on that walk?
Too many
rookie
layers.
Too many layers. None of that.
You're hot.
And
because
gloves.
of the Eruv.
That's right.
You can't
You can't
take
take
off
it
the
off.
gloves in the
That's
Eruv.
right. For
But how
4 to 6 miles.
How
you
many walks have we done to West Hampstead? We started that walk, I think it was 2000. I remember Yehuda was just back, so it was 2010.
I remember meeting in Rakanesi's office, and Rabbi Emerson goes, "Let's call it the walk."
the walk.
The snow.
Ah, the snow,
Rain.
the foot of
Sleep.
I walked with Rabbi Kamenetsky alone one year.
Yeah, I got smart. I stayed by my good friend Avi Weiss.
You spent otherwise the move.
I
You
walked out
dropped, you
Shabbos
dropped
for
the
the-
Shabbos shoes off at the Schwab.
That's
We spent many a
Yeah,
Friday
well,
night at the
yeah,
the
the
Weiss.
Where you leave the hat over there, you cut the baseball hat, and then the walk.
Forget it.
So, Rabbi Yudin, you spoke about that moment. Let's focus. You have besides, what is your most inspirational, most memorable moment that you have?
I think you just
know,
said it.
Was that or was you just picking
Rabbi Farber holding?
Oh, Rabbi Farber. Wow.
I was listening. Oh, that's what the most inspirational moment was. Me dancing around the house.
Let me give one inspiring
Yeah,
moment.
because I figured that you were just piggybacking off Rabbi Brazil. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
what's
was
yours?
piggybacking off of him. I was thinking about Miriam Peretz, but the truth is, one of my most inspiring moments in DRS actually happened this year. My shir took on a very, very special,
beautiful,
very special Vaharavna initiative. The guys learned it for all the people
When Rabbi
that are
Newman
watching.
approached me about
when
that, I
Rabbi
was a
Newman
little bit-
approached me. So Baruch Hashem, we had a very, very, very beautiful year this year. And shir, the guys learned and reviewed many times. Maseches Tainis. We went to the Chasana in Muncie, New York. 1,500 other high school kids that devoted their year to serious Chazara, and to go up on the podium. Rabbi Storch was there taking pictures and videos. To go up onto the podium with 600 or 700 Messiahim, and to have our DRS guys up there saying Hadron Allah with that thunder of 600 or 700 guys saying in Hadron Allah, the Hadron Allah, and the Secha so and so, and we did Tainis. It was very, very special, inspiring.
I just want to say I got a text from Ellie Hagler.
Yeah.
Saying you guys are incredibly entertaining. For Ellie Hagler to say that to us.
And Ellie's
and who is more entertaining
we
than
should
Ellie
bring
Hagler?
him in as a
I remember Ellie Hag when we opened up the gym.
That's right.
He was playing basketball. It was a hockey game.
There was a hockey game most of Shabbos, but Sunday.
And I
the
bought a
next
blimp.
Day, you did.
Craig Berry had the blimp going around.
The Sunday, the next day, and we discovered that Sunday that we can't play basketball in the gym during the day because the sunlight.
sun, that
and
we
now
got
if
the
you look at
shades.
the shades came because of that game. We played a game where you couldn't see the rim.
Listen, you just mentioned.
That's why we lost, not the coach's fault.
You just mentioned
the coach's fault.
You just mentioned that, right? That just brought me for some reason to Yom Achdut. I'm sure a lot of people watching.
Oh yeah.
Think about Andre throwing the stuff
egg
off
drop.
the roof, the egg drop. That's a special
I met
moment for
Andre.
lots of
For
people.
those who don't know, like Andre was the way we had Andre here. Who's here for many years. He was the original caretaker of the building. He was just security, and then Richie liked him, I guess, and he brought him on.
Wow.
So I remember I came to the gym a week before the building was approved to just look around to see what we need. I was the athletic director at the time, and I meet this guy Andre. And I say, what do you do? And he tells me security by day. He works here at night. I go, when do you sleep? He goes, I take a lot of vitamins. And we had Andre
I
here
used
for
to,
16
but
years.
I still do too.
I might not, but I might
will. Robert Brazil.
I had a lot of good times with him.
Trips, extracurricular activities, clubs, but probably more impressive than anything else, the amount of chesed that comes out of your office, the amount of chesed opportunities that you provide for the students here. Talk about some of the amazing. Talk about Fivey. I mean, talk about Kulanu. It's so many.
Give us your the most chesed that inspired you that you've been moved by.
I have to say it was Hurricane Sandy, where there were literally houses underwater.
Rabbi, you
Humans' houses underwater.
I was the direct beneficiary.
We were covered.
And we had guys.
Sweeping it
We
up.
had guys literally working 24/7,
was
going
incredible.
to Oceanside, to Long Beach, dragging stuff out of the houses, literally
Hold
bringing
on.
pizza to guys. It was incredible to see guys who didn't have their own power. One of our was the last guy to get his house get power back on, and he was helping out. It was
And then
really
we were
incredible.
then we were in Beth Shalom.
Oh,
No
Festival.
class.
And South Shore.
I was
South
the
Shore.
principal of Beth Shalom. I should put that on my resume. There's nobody else there.
And
I was there next
Yeah,
year.
it was like me, you, and we had that Eddie Zapp.
We could get gas. We could Eddie Zapp.
No class and no teaching, and we haven't taught
We figured it
since.
out. No, we figured it out. Rabbi Yudin?
I got to just give one shout out because you asked about the most inspiring moment. The truth is, Adi Afrikan's right. He just texted me. He said, "You speak about the Harv. No, you didn't speak about the Olam Haba group." That year, the guys
The
came
war
at
cover.
night. No, forget the work cover. That's something
they
else.
came, yeah, they
came. We learned Maseches Brachos.
what do you think
the
of war
next year,
cover?
Maseches Sota. Adi, you're the best. 100%. You're right.
Last question for
Yeah.
you guys. then
Wait,
we
hold
get
on,
the band.
George. When
Yeah.
I say Warchav, what do you think of? First thing comes to mind.
Inchi.
Camp Seneca Lake.
No. Yeah.
Peter.
Or what? Or the broken desk they found around the neighborhood. They brought it to the back
We've
and they were
had
smacking
too many
it.
stories that we can't tell tonight.
The after-hours show.
Yes.
But this is a good question, Rabbi Zol. Name 3 repeat DRS Shabbaton guests.
I don't think there was one for 3. We ever have anybody for
Judge
3?
Butler?
2.
Judge Dan
Two
Butler.
Oh, you mean 2-timers? Yeah.
Who are 2-timers?
Oh,
Alan
come on.
Weingrad.
Alan Weingrad.
Alan Weingrad.
Yeah. Lavi Greenspan.
Lavi Greenspan.
Greenspan.
Come on.
I think that's it. You got
The
more?
guy who was the
Richie.
car accident, the bus accident, the airplane accident.
Richie, who's been complaining about this broadcast, can't get away. He wants to get back on the couch.
Rabbi Yudin, let's talk. Let's wrap it up. Rabbi Yudin, Rabbi Brazil. We're building now the point of tonight, and I just got reminded by the president, Mr. Rogoff, that we're getting close to 1.8 million, which we want to hit by 10 o'clock. We want to hit that number because we're davening Ma'ariv 10 o'clock. We want to hit that number, 1.8 million. So please don't forget it's about tonight donating. But Rabbi Yudin, we're pushing out the building now. What do you think the possibilities are for us? What do you think the possibilities are for us in terms of expansion of the building? How is that going to help us in terms of educating the next generation, the leaders of DRS?
Leaders. Very
Without
good.
the
Very
either.
important. Very important. So I get, listen, it's been said probably many, many times here on this couch, but we have classes going on in the base medrash as we speak. Literally, you walk into the base medrash, you have 3 or 4 or 5 classes sometimes going on at once in the base medrash. There's just not enough room. There's just not enough room here. And to expand and to add and to have the necessary space to really connect with every kid in a very special, meaningful way would be something very, very special and very, very beautiful.
It's really needed, and we need everyone's help to get that goal.
Rabbi Brazil, any new programs we're going to have because of this?
We could have some outdoor 3-on-3 basketball tournaments outside, and
Very
more parking.
We could have that.
Bring Mr. Softy back.
We
He could have his own parking spot.
What happened to Mr. Softy? We could have more room for the
I think
string
he went
hunt.
to Florida and never came back.
Oh, the yarn hunt.
The yarn hunt. Can you imagine if we have that long haul, we could have that yarn hunt going.
I hear that.
Any parting shots as you guys leave the broad? We're about getting ready for the band. The band is going to be on in 2 minutes.
I have to say it is a pleasure working with everyone here. It is a great team.
There's a
It's
tremendous
really,
sense of chevra.
We've been together for how many years?
Too long.
A long. 6.
Long time. This is my eighth, and
yeah, we've been here
20
22,
years.
21 years. Rabbi Yudin, how many you got here? 2002. 2002. Wow. Rabbi Farber was in the building already in 2001.
17 years.
You know, Rabbi Farber was in my Hebrew class in 2001.
Yep, don't remember a single word.
There was. I'm going to challenge you. The bump rule, Rabbi Farber.
I do remember the bump rule.
And I'm
gonna go ahead.
What was on his laptop? What was the sticker
we're
on the
going to
top
get
of his
there.
laptop?
We're going to get there. We are going to get there, Rabbi Brazil. We're going to get
Do you know how close we are?
Who?
All of us.
Oh, my gosh. I mean,
Do you know what Rabbi did? Rabbi Storch did?
what's that?
When one of my children went to Tara.
Oh, this is a great story. So Tara's in labor.
Tara's in labor.
You're in my share at the time.
remember
Yes. Tani Jacob is in my share. Say,
Hey,
Tani,
Dr. Jacob
Tani,
is...
call Dr. Jacob. Call your
So
mom.
listen to this.
Let us
Right.
know
This
if Rabbi
is,
Yudin
so
is
listen,
having a
this is
baby.
pre-cell phone, okay? This is when everyone had the world had beepers. So we're in the room.
Nokia.
We're in the
You can
room.
play- you can play Snake.
We're in the room. It's getting late. But then all of a sudden the beeper goes off, and Dr. Jacob says, "It's my boy." So she
learning
leaves the
Subas.
room. She leaves the room. We're waiting there, like, what's going on? She leaves the room. She comes back and she goes, I said, well, what's so funny? She goes, that was my storage this year. They want to know what you're up to.
Yes.
That was a contagious year.
Oh, my goodness.
Rabbi Farber,
Good times. Good
Yeah,
times.
good times. Lidrus Lahuda Onashari. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it.
What movie did we watch?
We watched Braveheart.
Yes, and we learned from...
Every day.
Come on. And we all did well. Baruch Hashem.
No, Baruch Hashem. It was amazing and so
What
so
was
special.
amazing is that we only had somebody was so impressed with somebody else in this year that their aunt worked in the school.
Yes. That could be a whole other thing. But it is amazing that the team here, we've been together for so many years and go
Mr.
so
Shem,
far
we should
back.
take this building that we're building now, like the Marsha in Megillah says, and we should move this building as we work together
into the base of English.
Into the base of English and Eretz
Om dos hayu ragleinu b'sharayich Yerushalayim.
Amen.
What a great way to end. Thank you so much,
All
Rabbi
right,
Zohar,
guys.
Rabbi Yudin.
Shkayach.
Again, we are here at the Builders of Tomorrow Campus Expansion Campaign, and we are ready
Just about ready. You want to go to the war room first?
We're going to go to the war room. You want
We're going to go to the war room first.
I'm going to read off
and then
some of the
right
names.
after that, the DRS band is going to perform, and immediately after that, I am going to interview the one and only Rabbi Eli Storch.
Here we go. Just as Rabbi Farber goes to the war room, I'm going to read off to you. Jason Hagler just came in with $2,000. Limor and Murray Englard, $20,000. Rabbi Shmuel Klammer and his Rebbitzin.
We are here in the war room.
$720.
Oh, look who's here. Look who's here. Ari Schreier. Unbelievable. Ari, what are you feeling on this night? You've been part of the Howe family for so long. Your kids have had so much success here, and we're building the DRS of tomorrow. What do you think?
The right way. People should just give. If they've given, give more.
Unbelievable. Thank you, Ari. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. What are we up to? $1,707,000. Unbelievable. Nathaniel, you're going to be on the couch tomorrow night with Mitch. We'll talk about it. We'll send you an email. We are here with who's here? We got the what's that? We are 42% of the way there, and 22 minutes to get to 1.8. 22 minutes to get to 1.8. We're going to do it. We are going to do it. Okay, here we go. The DRS band, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to show a video now.
Oh, we're going to show a video. What's the?
What video?
Every single boy who walks through our doors feels the personal care, attention, and warmth that every single staff member gives to every single student. We believe that by creating a nurturing, warm environment, our students will enjoy coming to yeshiva, and when a student enjoys what he's doing, he will do his best work. We believe very strongly in rigorous academic standards, in kids working hard, in kids developing skills to become independent learners, and when they work hard, they will grow and develop their talents and abilities in the best way possible. We are involved in a STEM program where our kids are developing technology and coming up with new ideas. Our base medrash at night is open till midnight. We have students who sit and learn till late at night. Each year we have kids competing in prestigious science competitions. We have kids getting into honors programs at Yeshiva University and at many, many other colleges as well. We have kids going to study in the land of Israel for a year or for 2 years to further develop their skills. Right now with 364 students, we are bursting at the seams. DRS and HAL have been fixtures in the 5 towns, Queens, West Hempstead, Brooklyn communities for over 20 years now. And we so appreciate that parents are willing to partner with us to develop the future leaders and members of the Jewish community. DRS is a family. Every single
Sim
Kamenetsky? Rabbi Kamenetsky? Do you want to join the band?
Just for the old-time people. You brought me up when I was down. Oh yes, you did. You filled me up with a brand new sound. Oh yes, you did. You like the sunshine on my mind, and then you made me dance. You taught with joy so I could find we all have another chance. La 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 da da da. La 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 da 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 da. La 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 da da da. La 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 da da da. As I watch this river flow out into the sea, I think about where I've been and where I'm gonna be. I listen to her and the sound as the water moves along. Been by this river so many times, I just never heard her song. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We never had a band like this back in the old days, I can tell you. We never had a band like this. These guys are unbelievable. Oh, 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 da-da-da, da-da-da, la-da-da-da. Da-da-da, da-da-da, do-do-do. Da-da-da, da-da-da, la-da-da-da. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Let's pick it up a little bit. Let's pick it up. Let's pick it up. Let's pick it up. 1, 2, 3, and Jerusalem, Jerusalem, see of my dreams. I've been this way sometime before, well that's the way it seems. I've walked the streets and I've seen your walls, and you know that I've sung your song. I've been waiting for that David man to come down, take us all home. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. The DRS in Jerusalem. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Let's go. הפכנו מספידי למחולי, למחולי. הפכנו מספידי למחולי, למחולי. כן. השם אלוקיי לעולם הודך. השם אלוקיי לעולם הודך. So last time. Fakir misvidi lemacholi, lemacholi. If we get to 4 million, I will be very happy. Lemacholi. Hashem Elokai leolam odeka. Hashem Elokai leolam odeka. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. in and out of Thank you very much to the DRS band.
That was the DRS band with a rendition of Hafachta and a... What's that? Yes.
We get a donation in honor of the DRS band.
I want to say even more that
You
we're
guys
now
are
at
on the rule. Thank you.
1.764. We need to get to 1.8 before Maariv. That's in 11 minutes. So we need somebody to come in and make the difference between now 1.764 to 1.8. We'll give you a DRS T-shirt.
Thank you.
To the person who makes the pledge, who puts us over the 1.8. That's right. You could donate
get
a
one
lot
of
of money.
these.
You could donate a lot of money to get a T-shirt.
Thank you so much to the DRS band with a rendition of Hafachta and some slow song
Rabbi
that I never heard
Farber,
of.
name of the first DRS band.
I think P2P with Donnie Joseph and
Oh.
Penny.
We had Subliminal.
Subliminal, sure.
We had
What's that?
Mr. President, we have offered a free sweatshirt to the person who puts it over the 1.8 barrier.
We want to thank you all for watching the DRS broadcast tonight. Tomorrow night, join us. Rabbi Storage
We're going to
4.
start 7:30 here.
7:30 here.
We're going to try to do technologically what's never been done before.
We shall see.
We'll never know. It's one of those things. We're going to then show a memorable shir. Rabbi Kamenetsky is going to take us down memory lane with all kinds of different experiences that he's had in chinuch, guided by the principles of his father in honor of the first year outside of his father. That's sponsorships available for this year.
7:45. Come down to the base medrash and hear that shir in person. It's going to be something very, very
It's going
special.
to be legendary.
Very, very special.
And there's going to be, otherwise they're going to be tomorrow. What else are we doing? We're interviewing the presidents.
Tomorrow night we are interviewing the presidents of HAL, Mitch Kirshner and Nathaniel Rogoff. We are going to interview with the Menahel of DRS, Rabbi Kamenetsky. I am going to interview Rabbi Storch.
That's right.
And we're going to do a lot of other fun things.
It's
we thank
going to
you
be
so much.
Well, we got 9 minutes of time, Rabbi Farber. I
9
want to run.
minutes.
I want to run.
Go
down.
ahead. Run down some more of these.
Michelle and Gary Friedman. Beautiful. Of course,
Thank you so much.
Jakey's, Josh and Jakey. They just gave $7,200. Sharon and Gerald Unger, who's, I believe their son is a chassan, so $400. These anonymous people. They just keep coming back for more. $1,000. Maureen and Jeff Klein, $720. Josh and Melissa Blackman. You got to give them a lot of credit. That's $8,000. Thank you so much. We are humbled. Wow, I don't know what just happened here.
You scroll down.
I did. No, I hit the button. See more. Jason Hagler with 2,000. We said that already. Morty and Jamie Fenster, graduates of the year 2007. DRS Escalpel, 1,000. Tamar and Jay Bindiger, less than a minute ago. They gave $4,000. Dr. Bindiger, who was the first fan of the year. Dr. Bindiger, who used to come to all of Yoni's games. Joseph Abitan, a member of the freshman class, $72. Zach Kirshner, in my year 2007, $720. Josh Kupchik, $500. Willie Solomon, $100. And we have done the rest. Dov Oken gave $1,100 in honor of Levi Oken and the Egregious 11. Yes, we mentioned that already tonight. If you can name me all members of the Egregious 11, please, that's a win. It's 9:52. We're closing in on our goal for the night. We have to get to 1.8. We're 1.775548.
We want to get to 1.8 before
Jenny and
Maariv.
John Katz just gave in $2,000. We want to thank, at the end of the football games, you thank your producers, you thank the executive director. So who do we have to thank tonight?
We have to thank Chaim Schwartz, a senior in DRS, who really put this whole broadcast together. We want to thank the DRS band. We want to thank Dovi Flug for the sound. We want to thank the DRS maintenance staff for everything that they did. We want to thank...
And continue to do.
Yes, we want to thank Carlos and Gabby's. Carlos and Gabby's for providing the delicious food today, as well as Stop
Chop and Rock, Stop Chop and Rock.
Stop Chop and Roll
Stop
for,
Chop and Roll.
for all the sushi.
What's the Stop
delicious
Walk and Roll?
sushi-
Stop
sushi.
Chop and Roll.
We want to thank Richie Hagler. We want to thank Chaim Hollander. We want to thank everybody who put this together tomorrow
Really,
night.
we want to
again.
give a big, I took just a couple of reflections that I have on the day.
Sure.
We've been talking about this day in all seriousness for about 2 years, and just in terms of the DRS spirit, to watch the Talmidim gather around and really galvanize and get ready to try to help us out and to build this building, which we need to do. That was really inspirational to me. To see the members of the DRS band, that the Watman twins, they were at Izzy's tonight. They hustled back to do this for the broadcast. We're at 1.78.
By the way, the Stein twins.
The Stein twins, I got that.
Stein twin.
People, there was another twin that people suggesting. I said, nope, he left after sophomore year to Virginia.
We're getting the wrap-up sign. Thank you so much to all of our viewers again tomorrow night. Tune in,
What time?
7:30.
7:30?
7:45 will be the shir by Rabbi Kamenetsky.
Please
and then
come
we're
to
going
the
be
shir.
back on by about, I don't
We're
know,
looking, again, I have to say this
8:30,
again.
9 o'clock?
We're looking for sponsorships of this year. You can
sponsorship
go
this
to drshelp.org and to donate that,
That's
or
right.
you could just send me a WhatsApp, a
Can they
text.
donate? Can they put the sponsorship as their
Why not? Why not? Let's go crazy.
So 7:45.
And if anybody has any creative ideas for us to do tomorrow, 516-567-7991 or 516-624-2404.
Rabbi Kamenetsky Shir at 7:45, and then we will be back on. I want to thank Rabbi Storch, my partner in crime here.
Rabbi Farber, I want to thank you.
Thank you so much.
You know, it's a couple of years ago we met. 18 years ago.
This is true.
It's been a fun ride.
This is true. I'm almost at my 15th graduation
reunion.
Reunion.
We don't have reunions after 15 years.
We will.
You know what? Whatever you say. Sei gesund, stark.
Stark,
We're signing.